Wrestling's High Marks, the highest podcast
ever!
I've got one question for everybody here tonight.
You got a joint? Yes! 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 Alright. I'm gonna get you high today. Awesome!
My grandma drank all my pot.
Oh no! I'm pregnant!
Oh no! No way, man!
Right. High Marks episode 1, take 2. We're going to begin this week with... Okay.
Well, Takeover New Orleans, it was the best thing about Wrestlemania weekend. I mean, it stole the show before Wrestlemania could even start, like it has the past, 3 years now? They never...
Easily the last
They never
3
fail to
years.
deliver every year at Takeover.
I don't know. I thought the Undertaker-John Cena match was the highlight of the weekend for me.
Him not coming out to Kid Rock performing American Badass like I and many other people thought was a highlight in its own, I guess.
There's no doubt about that. All right. Just being a dick, let's start with the ladder match. Adam Cole, Bebe. EC3, Killian Dane, Lars, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, great match, great competitors.
This was probably my favorite match of the NXT pay-per-view.
It was my favorite match of the weekend, probably.
I think it was what I would call the most entertaining match of the evening and the weekend, but I can't say it was my favorite because I still...
Ciampa and Gargano, yeah.
Just because of the... Well, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
This fucking ladder match was amazing. I thought it was great. I mean, I feel like you don't get that many great matches anymore. Not trying to be, like an old schooler or negative, but when you watch wrestling, you don't often really just like have your mind blown anymore, or see people really like working their ass off, really trying to give it to you. And I feel like everyone involved in this was doing just that. They wanted to put on a hella show, and they did.
Yeah, they definitely came through.
I couldn't believe Ricochet in this match. I'd go, this is a highlight for Ricochet, and he didn't even win the match. Just his debut.
Yeah, he did well. I was kind of wondering how he would do against, some of the other wrestlers, because he's got a different style from everybody else, but it meshed really well. Like, there was a lot of different styles in that match, and they were great.
I remember Chad commenting originally about how they had Killian and Lars, and you assume when you got a couple of big dudes like that, they might slow the action down or kind of drag down the match, but they did not. They
kept it going.
The Asian on this match, and I don't know who it was, used everyone in the match exactly right.
Yeah,
everyone
did.
did.
When they
Two
were playing
big guys that can actually move. I think Killian Dane bounced off the ropes like he was an Uso and jumped through the ropes and knocked out a bunch of guys.
He did a suicide dive, and it looked good. It wasn't like an awkward, chubby guy suicide dive.
Lars took it perfectly, too, for a big guy.
Absolutely.
You got to give him credit, because he caught Killian, kept him from dying, and took the fall well. So.
You mentioned Ricochet. I just want to say that guy, he can fly and flail out of the ring like he's dead better than anyone I've ever seen.
When Killian and Lars were playing catch with him, basically, that was
awesome.
Throw
him back. Throw him back. That was really cool. No doubt.
What a great chant.
Yeah, the way he pulled that move off the ladder when he was getting tipped off the ladder to the outside, that was fucking awesome, too. Did not see that coming.
That crazy moonsault. Yes, that was badass. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That Velveteen Dream dropping all those elbows and that one off the ladder on Lars, that was insane.
Yeah, when he realized he was too far to actually get the belt.
Yeah.
I don't clearly remember a ladder match where multiple ladders were broken in half either. That seemed like...
Yeah, it's been a minute. I can't think of the last time. I mean, it was probably a Money in the Bank match or something, but yeah, it's been a minute since they've had a bunch of ladders broken.
I can't remember specifically, but the second ladder, I feel like it was EC3, and Killian Dane jumped and landed on his legs.
No, the second one, it was Killian Dane. He jumped and landed on Ricochet's legs.
Ricochet, there you go.
While holding, I think it was Adam Cole,
No, I mean the one where the ladder broke. You're talking about the one...
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the Vader bomb. I'm talking about the other one, too. Yeah, the Vader bomb onto EC3 with the ladder over him was fucking crazy.
It was so brutal.
Yeah. EC3 took some fucking hard bumps that match. He didn't get a whole lot of offense, and I kind of felt bad for him. I thought it'd be more of a display for him.
I liked the brief moment where he got to piggyback on Adam Cole, baby. And then he tried to do Adam Cole's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did that.
EC3 baby. He
Adam Cole didn't care for that.
He paid for that.
Yeah. Adam Cole promptly fucked his shit up.
He collected a receipt on that one for sure.
Yeah, because you didn't really see him the rest of that match.
But great performance from everybody. Finally, in the end, we get Adam Cole pulling the belt down to become the first ever North American champion, which I thought it was great. I was happy. I think Adam Cole's my favorite in NXT. Hell, possibly my favorite in the company right now. He's awesome.
He's a rock star. There's no doubt.
But in no way do I want him to come anywhere near the main roster. They will just fuck him up. He's not big enough for main roster. They'll destroy him. And I don't just mean like he'll get destroyed in the ring. I mean, because creatively they will fucking destroy him.
Jim Cornette would agree with you. And what a great way to open any show. I mean, it's not really a pay-per-view. It's a watch on the network per-view. But,
it's NXT's equivalent to a pay-per-view.
Sure, and can't kick off a show any better than that.
No, it was great.
They're going to follow that up with the women's title match with Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. Yet another MMA-style wrestler, which, I don't know, those aren't my favorite.
I think out of all the MMA-style wrestlers out so far, Shayna Baszler is probably my favorite.
I would definitely agree with that.
She's a lot better in the ring than I thought she would.
Had notes of, I couldn't believe how heavy their punches all seemed.
Yes.
Like how
they were stiff.
That is the stiffest match of the night, for sure.
That was the stiffest women's match I've ever seen.
I'm not sure there are any moves that were not landed stiff in that whole match. It's not a very long match, and they just really beat
Shayna even laid some stiff ones on herself when she was popping her shoulder back in on that ring post. Oh. That was fucking intense. I'm like, nice. So does she Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon? But I actually liked it. I thought it was cool.
I'm not wild about the MMA style wrestlers only because I watch MMA and it's a definite, real, 100% full contact sport.
Well, yeah.
And people that watch wrestling are fully aware that it's a choreographed and scripted type thing. But if you can make it look good, okay. But I feel like it's almost like it's not believable sometimes. Like it's not the right place for an MMA
Speaking of what you're
fighter
talking
to
about, you also didn't feel too bad, even if you really like Ember Moon, because you knew that if she lost that match, that you knew she was one of the people being called up.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. But all in all, I would say that was actually a really cool match. I think on my original notes, which I don't have anymore, I think I even gave that one an A, and I'm usually a little hard on the women, just because, I don't know, it seems like they...
It depends on who's wrestling, but yeah.
Are a little clunky sometimes, and not just as good looking of move execution.
No.
But this match was a lot of fun. These girls, it looked like they were brawling over a man or something.
Yeah, they were beating the hell out of each other for sure.
I really liked it.
But then when the way Shayna countered Ember's finisher there at the end, put her into that submission, that was great.
Thank you for reminding me, because again, I don't have my original notes, but I really liked how she used her hair to complete the choke after her arm was injured. Yep. She held her hair. It's a nice little innovation. I don't think I've ever seen that before, even in actual MMA. I don't think anyone's ever. I've seen Hoist Gracie in the old days choke with his what's the uniform called? Gi.
Okay.
Where he would use it to choke people, which was legal, I guess, or they didn't ever not let him do it.
Right.
But I thought that was a real cool little touch. Or I don't know if that was her idea or she improvised it right there, or an agent came up with that move. But I thought it was a nice touch. I really did.
I like how they didn't have Ember tap either. They actually had her just pass out. But it was quick. They didn't do the whole bullshit where the ref raises the hand 3 times. He's just like, nope, bitch is out. Ring the bell. Yeah, good match overall.
It was a good match. It really was. And, I mean, that's saying more than usual considering that it had to follow that ladder match. You know,
yeah, it did
after
well for
that,
following that.
You almost have to think, well, that ladder match was probably the highlight of the evening. I don't know why they started with that, but I thought that was a good one to chase it with, and I thought it was a really good match. And that led us into the tag title match involving Undisputed Era, AOP, and Strong and Dunn.
Yep.
I felt so bad for Adam Cole.
Yeah.
I was like, oh crap, just one match break.
Yep.
And he's back out there working it
and
again.
then he just gets put through a table like right off the get, pretty much. Like, yeah, just go ahead and rest out here for the rest of the night. We're not going to use you anymore.
Now, I remember there was an injury to one of the tag teams, and that's probably how Strong and Dunn ended up in this thing in the first place.
Yeah, Mustache Mountain had an injury.
But I'll tell you what, I like how it ended up because they were able to get something out of that needed to be done, and that is the Roderick Strong heel turn.
Yep.
Yeah. We talk about this guy because he's a fabulous worker. He's a great wrestler. He's cut. He's in great shape. He looks like a wrestler, but there's something about the guy.
You just hate him.
You want to slap him in the face.
I almost want to call him a modern day Rick Martel. Rick Martel, when he was in the WWE, had a hard time getting a good guy push, but he was an awesome bad guy.
Rick Martel was a great heel for sure. The model. I can't. He couldn't do anything else more to make me happy because I'm
right.
He does everything right, but I just don't. He's
the character
just
was
like naturally unlikable. I don't even know
that stupid ass douchey like varsity jacket he wore out to the ring always.
And he's like that stupid look on his face. Like I don't know.
Like, dude, stop smiling.
I sound like a dick, and I'm usually not like that. And he's never done nothing to me. But this heel turn, I think, is exactly what he needed. I think I would love him as
he just reminds you
douchebag that I already look at him as.
Right. Yeah. So he reminds you of that douchey jock from high school.
Yeah. I think that'd be a great place for him. I look forward to seeing how they use that in the future.
Right. But yeah.
We haven't mentioned
Strong turns on Dunn and hits him with his finisher and pulls
Adam Cole,
Kyle O'Reilly on top of him.
The other dude,
yeah.
O'Reilly.
Pulled Kyle O'Reilly on top of him for the pin, and then Adam Cole gets in the ring. Roderick pulls off his
little elbow pad thing, whatever it is.
Puts it on his, says he's part of the faction now. So
and by the way, the Authors of Pain were in the match too sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Forgot about them. My bad. And just kind of like on after their match on Raw, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about them already.
Oh, them dudes. Just a quick comment about that. I'm not wild about them losing Ellering already, but that's okay.
Yeah, that was dumb.
We'll get there when we get there.
And from the sound of it, they're not going to do anything with Ellering either.
All right, anything else on this one? I mean, it was a pretty cool match.
It wasn't bad, but unfortunately, it was a good match, but it was probably the low point of the night.
Yes, I was just going to say that might have been the low light, even though it wasn't a bad match. It was just this was a great card.
Yeah,
and
if it wasn't
very well executed card.
If it wasn't for the heel turn at the end, the way it ended, it would have been a forgettable match.
Right,
really.
Yeah, that's about the main note that I have is all about the turn at the very end.
Yeah, it's what made the match in the end.
Aleister Black and Andrade Cien Almas for the title.
See. It wasn't a bad match. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. I was thinking after seeing Almas and the matches Almas and Gargano were putting on, and then knowing the matches that Aleister Black's capable of putting on, I expected it to be better than what it was. I'm not saying it was bad. It was still a good match. It just didn't live up to what I was expecting, I guess.
It's almost exactly how I would describe it. I would say that this match was like cool in spurts. It seemed like that they would do a few cool spots and then like lay around for a minute. It's like weird pacing, but
one of my favorite moments of the match actually was Selena Vega's Spike Rana.
Yes, that was great. And Aleister Black took that thing.
He sold that perfectly.
Like completely vertical on the top of his head. He made it look as good as anyone can make that move look.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, you had the high spots in the match. You had low spots in the match.
A lot of close falls after seeing what you would think was a finisher.
Right.
And then, of course, the John Cena 2 kick out.
We get Aleister Black with the win, which was kind of a surprise, but not to me as much as everyone else, I guess, because I had remembered Almas had made an appearance at the Royal Rumble, and it's call-up time, and
I still think it's too early for him. Like, I don't care if he made his appearance. If they don't take Selena up there with him, then he's completely screwed. He's going to be lost in the shuffle in no time.
I had a note that it was a Selena Vega cheat that failed, that basically ended up winning the match for Aleister Black.
Yeah, see, I thought Aleister Black could have been much better coming up now. Like, I know he hasn't been down in NXT a whole lot. He hasn't won the belt down there, but who gives a fuck? Guy's got a lot of pop with the crowd. He's great in the ring. He's a little different from what they got up there. Like, I hate to say it, but he'd fit in all right with Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy to start off. Just to get him out there and get people used to him. But nope, he's the NXT champion, and he's going to stay down there for a little while, I guess.
I agree with all that. I don't know what they're going to do with Almas. I don't see... there's not much room up there already, and he's not the biggest dude.
They got to make some cuts.
I don't know if they're going to stick him in 205 or something. I feel like 205...
I think that if he went to 205...
It doesn't do anything
I don't
for me.
see
I can't watch that
anything
show.
but it being a stepping stone for him. If they were to put him there, I think he would shine.
I think you got to put a few other people
It would have to be just a stepping stone.
Yeah, I'd say you got to add a few other people in there, too, to 205. I was thinking of it originally Roderick Strong. Like, he was in the 205 live tournament, so put his ass on the roster. He's not doing great in NXT, but now they did this turn, so I'm actually intrigued to see where he's going to go with that. But, like a Tyler Breeze, maybe. Take him off the main roster because they're not doing anything with him. They're not going to do anything with him. If anything, he's going to end up cut. So I'd say you take him and put him in, like, 205. Maybe grab another name off of NXT or even off the main roster. Try to, put some more recognizable people on 205 and rejuvenate the product.
Well, I do agree that Aleister Black would probably be cooler on the main roster right now, but he's your NXT champion. I'm good with that, too.
Yeah.
It brings us to the highlight of my fucking last 2 weeks of my life, because I don't got much going on. and that is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa in maybe there was more hard-hitting action in the ladder match or even in other matches, but this match, the story and the lead-up all the way to it, the storytelling in the ring...
It's unlike anything I've seen in years.
It's honestly one of the most well-executed, programs, runs that I've seen since, the 80s when everyone had a program like this, Wrestling used to be the stories and the promos mattered more than the in-ring action. Do you watch 80s wrestling? They don't do dick. There's
you know what this
it's
almost
the slowest,
reminded
most
me of?
boring shit ever, but I loved it because you're drawn into the actual stories.
There was a dramatic pause in this match where you see it, and it almost reminded me of the whole Barber Beefcake, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty thing where...
I'm not going to remember this, unfortunately.
Where Johnny is actually looking like he's feeling sorry for Ciampa. And he
Ciampa
immediately realizes...
His eyes fucking swelling shut.
Yeah.
Genuinely. You can't kayfabe that.
Right. No, that was a good moment in the match. Very good. That was big in the storytelling thing. You think
That's just one of the many moments I'm talking about, though. I completely agree that was awesome.
Yeah, it's like they were a great tag team, and then they had all this hatred, and it's almost like they beat the shit out of each other at this point, to where it's like they were just like, all right, you kind of, for a second there, you think they're going to be like, all right, I've got it out of my system, you got it out of your system. Like maybe they're just going to hug and walk off into the sunset or some shit at this point. But
absolutely.
Then
I think that was left for the security guard and that guy that was missing his crutches that they just took.
Yeah, he just turned around and walked away. Like, oh yeah, he really needed them crutches.
Yeah,
they needed to pan away from that much faster.
I actually, I had commented that in our online group. They kind of, honestly, it didn't register when we watched it live, but then I heard a person complain about it, and I realized, wait, yeah, that was really dumb. They took his crutches, but they had a guy there immediately to walk him off. Make it look real. Let the guy fall down.
Right.
Wouldn't that have been better? Seriously. I mean, and
shouldn't he just stand there and support himself on the fucking wall,
Yeah, or like hold the guy or anything. It's like it looked too much like an obvious plant.
Yeah.
Like, if they wouldn't have had that security guard right there waiting to catch the guy, it was almost like a bummer, kind of.
About as obvious as Nicholas the next night on Mania.
But the actual idea, whoever had the idea, all right, a dude in the crowd, we're going to take his crutches. That's kind of brilliant. That's, like, actually really awesome.
It's almost like ECW type shit.
Yes, but, but I feel like they dropped the ball in the execution. But, that if that's my complaint for this whole show, if that's the negative...
Yeah.
I think this is a great show.
Little.
Back to the match, because we're not talking about it anymore. It made me feel good, Like, here's why I love wrestling. This is why I love wrestling, or why I loved it when I was a kid. The story, they were partners, and then Ciampa turned on him in his match to lose his job, and the heat that Ciampa got the next few weeks on NXT TV. Oh my God, it was amazing. 2 weeks of no words. Just
in the longest time, have you felt that passion for
invested?
Oh my God, why?
You were invested in that match.
Did you break those guys up? Yes. Type deal.
It's like he had more heat than Roman Reigns.
And that's saying something.
Yeah.
That dude's got white hot.
Ciampa
go
heat.
away heat.
Yes. Like break your leg and disappear for a year and come back repackaged as a bitch heat.
Yes.
Yeah, great match.
This whole event, I would give it an A, maybe an A plus. I can't ask for anything more out of one show than to have all this action in one lineup. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
A plus.
I loved when Ciampa swung the brace at Gargano and he countered, got a hold of that brace and slapped it on him. He tapped quick as fuck. That probably hurt real bad. Stop.
I watched that a couple more times, and he really does wrench his head back pretty far. Like, I bet it sucked. Don't worry, fucking...
I could feel
quickly
the pain.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Tap faster. It's okay.
I'm sure later when we're listening to this, I'll be pissed off because I forgot to mention something or whatever, but any final thoughts on NXT Takeover New Orleans?
Still, after a week after watching all this stuff and everything, still comes back to one of the best pay-per-views, WWE, NXT, anything I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last time I've seen a whole show that good. I mean, like I said, except for the last couple NXTs, like the last few years, the NXTs before Mania have always been good, but this one was even better than those. So,
hopefully, this is a good sign for the future.
Yeah, if these people are what we got to look forward to, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, but see, this is what happens every year. It's like we got all these stars on NXT. They're putting on great matches, and they get called up, and creative fucks them up somehow.
And that seems to be the way things go, for sure.
Like, Tyler Breeze was fucking great in NXT. And now he's a ridiculous half a tag team with Fandango, of all fucking people. And it's dumb. It's wasted fucking talent. The next night, we get Wrestlemania. The grandest stage of them all.
Up next we get Egomania 34.
Yeah. Vince's failed baby.
Cha-ching.
This had the worst build-up of any Mania ever going into it.
It had the worst build-up. I feel like the show was an hour too long.
At least.
To where by the time it was over, I was so down and so like sleepy feeling, just bored or
yeah, it was just too much.
We literally did have to stop and go to the store.
Yeah.
Pause it. Because we were about to doze off on the couch.
Like, shit, need caffeine.
Yes, I need some coffee and some 5-Hour Energy. Sponsored by 5-Hour Energy.
And coffee.
And coffee.
Indeed.
But, yeah, none of the matches, aside from Alexa and Nia, none of the matches had good build-up going into them. Like, you'd think there would have been stronger build-up going. I guess AJ and Nakamura wasn't bad. It'd probably be second on the list, but it still wasn't what it should have been.
Build-up from a match that they had in New Japan.
Right, yeah. So their build-up had nothing to do with WWE, basically.
Hey, plus, let's just, at least in my opinion, that match didn't really pay off that good anyway. So, yeah. I mean, it was a weird match considering who was in it to have it happen how it did. I wasn't impressed. But anyway, we're getting off track. Let's start with the men's battle royal, seeing as how that's what they started with.
It was filled with a bunch of B-listers, basically, as kind of to be expected. There wasn't any surprises, though. I mean, R-Truth made his return
briefly,
and that's what we got.
I didn't even notice he was in there until it was pointed out on a show I listened to a couple days later. But Mike Kanellis made his return as well. It was like, yeah, cool. Mike Kanellis makes his return after having like 2 appearances before disappearing. From
there was a lot of people
debut.
that I remember in that battle royal that didn't realize they were there until the announcer was going, and Kanellis just got thrown out.
Like, I'll be damned. I didn't know he was there. But, I mean, for what it was, I actually didn't mind it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a decent. I liked the way it ended. I mean, you finally get the whole Matt and
the pop that Bray Wyatt actually.
Yeah, Bray got a good pop, and you thought for a second it's like, okay, same old Bray. It's like the same cutaway thing. He appears in the ring. Like, great, we're gonna keep going with this stupid Matt Hardy Bray Wyatt thing. But luckily, they didn't decide to do that, and Bray helped out Matt, and Matt got the win. And now we have Bray Wyatt with Matt Hardy, which is something I think could be interesting. I think they should have been paired together a while ago, honestly. They carried that one-on-one feud along way too fucking far.
Now, granted, I had been hearing like rumors of Bray Wyatt's return. He was going to be quote-unquote repackaged and so on and so forth. So when he appeared with the exact same little intro deal and all that, I was like, okay, well, he's not exactly repackaged, but I do like how they handled it and how he's like with Matt now.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Did you imagine if they brought him back as the gay character? I'm gay, Wyatt.
Yeah. Wow.
Follow the buttholes.
It writes itself.
No, thank God they didn't do that. Poor Finn Balor, though. But yeah, decent battle royal. Like the ending, it was good.
I'm gonna
curious
take
to see
you
where it
down
goes
with a sister Abigail.
Yeah. We'll get you a sister.
I'm gonna slam your face in the mat. But
you will go down.
I enjoyed the battle royal for what it was, and I enjoyed the ending for what it was. Nothing too, monumental, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Good way to kick off a pre-show. Although, to quote Jim Cornette, if you got 2 big matches and a title match in the pre-show, it ain't a pre-show, it's the beginning of the fucking show.
I agree. That's what made the show way too fucking long.
So, they trailed that one with the 205 Live Championship, which I remember, I don't have my notes, but I remember I was kind of let down by it just because of the people that are in it are Alexander and Mustafa, and they're both a couple of badasses, and I kind of maybe expected a little bit more of a
my main
high
note
spot
was
style match between these guys.
It was a little
205.
slow.
They're supposed to be fast.
Yes.
But that could have been the slowest match of the whole.
Yeah, it was a fairly slow match, especially for those guys. But
you would be expecting that from what we were talking about in the NXT show with Lars and the other Killian Dane, and they moved quicker than those two.
Yeah. But at the same time, they were actually doing a decent job of telling a story in the ring. So
I agree with that.
I'm okay
they were
with
doing
them
some
slowing down a
storytelling.
It's hard to tell a story when you're just doing fucking spots the whole time. So I was all right with it.
You know, it's actually a pretty good point there, because you expect like some spot monkey action out of the 205 guys, and they actually did a pretty good job of telling the story. Maybe that's why we thought it was slow, because we're used to seeing just
it was just
high spot, high spot, high spot. So.
Yeah, it was just slower than what we're used to from those guys, but I was up for it. I mean, I thought it was a good match. I liked the ending.
Alexander with the belt now.
Yeah, you almost thought Alexander was going to turn there towards the end, but no. As soon as he got the pin on him, he immediately hugged his head. You know, you can tell that they obviously enjoy working together.
Yeah,
and they put on a good match. They were both excited about it.
And I very much like both of those guys. They are great wrestlers. They both are.
Yep.
And
by doing so, Cedric Alexander becomes the first African American ever to win a title on Raw. Or Raw. Mania.
See, I need to pay more attention to shit like that. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's something I seen a few days after Mania, so I didn't know it at the time either.
I was impressed with those back elbows that Alexander was throwing. Some of those.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking solid, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ali got his ass handed to him a little bit. But
I really enjoy watching the strong style type of wrestling that they do now, or what I would call ECW style, because that's the first time I've ever seen something like that. Like really hitting each other pretty hard.
Yeah.
Really laying the moves in. I like where this is going.
Yeah, and then
kind of gives me hope with all these MMA style wrestlers coming in. Maybe they can make it look good. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're gonna chase that match with the women's battle royal.
Yuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yuck. Luckily, I brought a barf bag. They're gonna give the win to Naomi on this, which I didn't see coming. There was a lot of rumors that they were gonna give it to a couple different people. I remember Dana Brooke was one of them we were hearing. I forget who the other name was.
That was one of the cheesy moments, is Dana Brooke all of a sudden taking a stand.
Yeah, that's not nice. Like, oh my God, shut up. Get her out of the ring.
And that's what they did.
That's what they did, yeah.
Very second person out of the match. And then we have to go, wow, you're telling this story between Sasha Banks and Bayley, and you're building this up, and they have this moment where they look like they're the last two, and Bayley actually goes through with it and throws Sasha out.
But what the hell? There's no music. No one's fucking celebrating.
Yeah, what's going on? Oh, look, it's Naomi.
And then Bayley pooped her pants.
Yeah. Naomi makes quick work of her, throws her over the fucking rope in, 5 seconds flat?
Yep.
And she gets the win. But let's see if it's anything like the men's battle royal. It won't mean dick in 2 weeks anyway. Everybody will forget, and it won't be talked about anymore.
That is a really good point. That this win doesn't really earn you anything or get you anything other than the title of battle royal winner.
Yep. First ever on the front of it to add to it.
Sure. Because it's the women's, I get it.
There's so many first evers in history being made with the women's division this year, yet they're not doing much of anything with it.
Girl power.
I mean, I did like how they had a lot of the NXT girls in there, and they kind of banded together for a minute. That big girl that Khali's training, you can definitely tell Khali is the one training her. Boy, is she slow and bright. It's like, let's draw as much attention to this girl as we can to showcase how slow and awkward she is moving around the fucking ring. It was like watching Great Khali.
Let's go with Poop Brown.
Let's be real here. What business does Khali have training anyone? Because he just stole all his moves from fucking Big Show.
No shit. Like, I hope he's training her on the mic too, because oh my God, that guy is awesome on the mic.
He melts that mic every time he touches it.
Yeah. It's the mic trying to recoil from shame.
It's like, how come I can't hear him? Because the mic keeps running away from his face.
Yeah.
No,
I deserve better than this.
Paul White kicked his ass for stealing his moves. That happened. They actually had a brawl over it. How is he now an agent? Whatever. Anyway. Whoopsie. Brings us to the Intercontinental Triple Threat match, which I love that everything's a triple threat match now. I'm loving how they book all that.
Fucking tired of that.
We got all these talent. Or all
yeah,
this
I gotta
talent.
try to fit them in somehow.
It's all put them in the same fucking match.
After they do the shake-up, they better cut some of this roster.
So you got Rollins, The Miz, and Balor, which are, arguably their three best workers, and they got them. Well, you have to include AJ in there, but
it's three of their best for sure.
But they got them all in the same match, which it sounds good on paper, I guess. But
I mean, it wasn't...
And we got to watch 3 weeks in a row of every single kind of thing they could do. Miz versus Balor,
every
versus...
possible
they built
combination
it up poorly.
of them three guys. Yes,
it's like they went out and cut a lot of promos on each other, but then there was always a physical altercation afterwards. There was like no build up to where like, oh, can't wait till they get their hands on each other because they've been fighting each other for the past
That's
fucking
exactly
3-4 weeks.
Anytime they had any kind of build up, there was an immediate payoff.
Yeah,
it's like no.
Yeah.
We don't need the payoff until this thing we're talking about right now, WrestleMania. I do think they kind of screwed up the build-up on this.
You got Miz, who's the best on the mic in the business. I mean,
love
aside from Paul Heyman, Miz is the best.
I love that guy too.
But yeah, I mean, you got the best mic worker in the company,
the
and
Mizzies,
you keep putting him in matches.
Do you remember the Mizzies when he was like ripping on Kurt Angle? And, but that shit was hilarious. It was great comedy. I was laughing my ass off. I rewatched it like 5 times.
Oh, that whole bit with
because of the video editing and shit. It was so funny, man. I just loved it. I loved it. But anyway, we're talking about WrestleMania, not Raw from 2.5 months ago.
Yeah, whatever, it applies.
They put the belt on Rollins. So I assumed that meant that The Miz was going to take some time off, seeing how he's a new dad and everything. And I was completely okay with that happening.
Didn't seem to be the case.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the fucking case.
Jump ahead to the next night, and I'm really unhappy how that match went. But yeah,
and then I didn't realize it at the time until the internet tells me the next day. But that made Seth Rollins a grand champ.
Oh yeah, the grand slam.
They didn't mention that at all in the broadcast that I remember they might have. I don't know.
I don't remember it.
I didn't.
By
see
that
it
point,
until
we
the
were all
next
baked,
day.
But Rollins is your new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, I'm pissed. I mean, Miz was so close to breaking that record. If you're not gonna get rid of him, I mean, not get rid of him. Sorry. If you're not gonna give him a break, some time off to go spend with his kid, then why'd you take the belt off him?
Agreed.
He was great with it. He was right there at that record. You know how much they love setting new records. So I think it was
questionable booking for sure. I would say questionable booking. And speaking of,
I can't stand Seth on the mic. I honestly, his voice bugs the shit out of me. Ever since that whole thing when he was champion, John. Like, oh my God, get this guy away from the microphone. But no, he's the champion, and now we're gonna have to listen to him bark every week.
And at this point, he's almost notorious for fucking up on the mic. Anyway, but anyway. Speaking of bad ideas, the SmackDown's Women's Championship was next. Charlotte versus Asuka, and apparently Charlotte was ready for Asuka.
That was the worst thing about the show. Not the match, not the way it ended.
I'll take
the
match.
The way she said Charlotte was ready for Asuka. That was like the throw-up moment of the night.
I'll take the match. I'll take the outcome. I wish that wouldn't have happened. I wish she wouldn't have said that. I wish she wouldn't have hugged her. It was just...
I'd take the outcome.
But you thought there was going to be a payoff for Charlotte. She just ended the streak.
Yep.
But instead, that had to be kind of interrupted because John Cena had to run up the ramp. Right fucking then, Can't let them have more of a moment, She just fucking ended the streak and kept her title, which she's fucking terrible at defending her title at pay-per-views anyway.
It's absolutely true. And also keep in mind, that's about an hour before his match actually happened. So really, that was the time to do that.
And that match was kind of short, in my opinion. That match should have been longer. Like,
Asuka tapped immediately.
We're sitting here saying there was too much fucking wrestling, but that match was too short.
Agreed.
How much do you care about your streak when you could have built it up to try to get to the ropes?
No,
really fight.
No,
But
5
it was
seconds
like
in, tap, 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 tap. Like, what the fuck was that? That surprised the shit out
that
of me.
was the big surprise to that match. It seemed like it was a really good match, and then when the ending happened, I was sort of just left cold. Like,
It was anticlimactic. It was
Yeah.
like a...
You're left wanting more.
okay. She
Like,
broke
so this
the
is how we ended the streak,
but-
huh? Like, you could have done a little better. Like, I'm okay with you ending the streak because it gets rid of that whole fucking Asuka's gonna win every match, thing. Which I wish they would have fucking done before the Mixed Match Challenge.
And also, look, if you're going to end the streak, even though they didn't, nail it, it happened at WrestleMania. At least it was at, the biggest event of the year. I guess that makes some kind of sense.
Yeah, and this will set Charlotte on fire for next year, right? So she's going to carry the belt and be a fucking badass for a whole year.
I was bragging about how I can spell
Never mind.
Ciampa right, but if you look on my notes, it says Champy. So I'm fucking fired.
Fuck up.
What the fuck, man?
That's why this is
Get
take
that
2.
right.
I
You
don't
don't
have
need to be in
anything
the
else to
business.
say about the Asuka match other than the comments we'll make later when we discuss the next couple episodes of the TV shows after Raw or after Mania.
Yep.
We'll get more into that. I don't have anything else. Anybody else on that one? Obviously, your winner was Charlotte, which brought us to the U.S. Championship triple threat match. I'm so glad that was another triple threat match.
That was a 4-way.
Oh, god damn it.
Rusev.
That's twice. I did that
Rusev Day.
on fucking take 1, too. I had to rewrite Rusev down. Yeah, it was actually a fatal 4-way, my bad, kids. We had Jinder Mahal, or as I like to call him, Stereotype Mahal. Randy Orton, one of my personal favorites forever now. That's dry humor.
Very, very dry. Just
Bobby
like Randy Orton.
Roode and Rusev.
Yeah, this was the match I was looking forward to the least out of the entire card.
Just a quick comment before we get into it. The rumors swirling at that time were that Rusev wanted out of his contract and was even looking at going to New Japan or Ring of Honor. And we were hypothesizing at WrestleMania that maybe they stuck him in here last minute to kind of like, okay, here you go, buddy. Here's your title match or whatever.
At which point I said, then they're going to be like, haha, psych, now you're going to eat the pin from Jinder Mahal.
Thank you for remembering that, because that is exactly how it went down, and I wanted to give you credit for that. So
that's what
glad
they
you
do.
remembered.
Like, man, this guy's getting himself over, like, without our help. We hate that. We have to fucking stop it. I know.
Never mind that
He's
this
gonna
guy
eat the pin.
had their number 3 without getting a real push of any kind whatsoever. Gets their number 3 best-selling T-shirt.
They're going to hate him forever, no matter what he does, because of that whole him and Lana getting engaged or getting married and putting on social media when
I'm
she's
wondering
supposed
if
to be
that's
with
what
Dolph.
they're actually holding a grudge from.
Oh, I guarantee it. They don't. You
'Cause
have to
he
stay there
seems
for like
to be
10
a really
years
cool
to
guy
work this shit off.
backstage.
Heaven forbid anyone in the WWE break kayfabe.
Yeah, no shit.
Because that shit ain't dead.
Yeah, they hate him for that, but then when Nikki and Brie were having their little back-to-back before Mania, and fucking Nikki's telling Brie that she wishes she would have died in the womb and shit like that, they're spotted the next weekend out having lunch together at some fucking restaurant. Like, what? Shit's stupid. The bitches can get away with that, but fucking Rusev and Lana can't get married. No.
If that really was, if that's what the beef is, I'm not impressed at all, because we're past that time.
Yeah.
People know even if you're a mark, you can't really think it's really real.
Yeah.
Even if you mark the hell out and love wrestling, you can't really think it's real. All right, anyway. I love Rusev. I really do. I think he's great. I couldn't tell you exactly why. He's just got it. He's got the it factor. The guy, he's an entertaining dude, and I like him. But anyway.
Yeah, he's entertaining, but at the same time, he's believable. That, like, you can see him out there beating the shit out of people. He's a big-ass looking dude.
Yeah,
he looks mean.
But there's that, too. He definitely looks like a wrestler. He looks the part, and that means a lot.
Solid moves. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, his moveset's great for him.
Good worker, everything about him. He's really cool. Not to mention big merch guy. He moves merch.
Got a wicked German suplex. Reminds me almost of like a Tazplex.
Isn't it like a Romanian suplex when he does it, or what is he?
Bulgarian
suplex. There you go.
I found out recently on YouTube watching a video of Van Grail in an interview that he was actually the one that trained Rusev.
I just immediately pictured Rusev with fangs. Sticking his tongue out. That's lesson 1 in School of Gangrel.
He's like, I want...
Bulgarian brute.
I want to machka cake you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wish I wouldn't have said that. Anyway, they put the belt on Jinder. We're getting lost again.
Damn. I mean, I wanted to get lost away from that match. There was nothing I liked about it, really.
They had just put the belt on Rude on SmackDown to make him a Grand Slammer or whatever.
No, Randy.
They
took it off of Rude. Yeah.
Orton, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I kind of just assumed because of the rumors, not for any other reason, that Rusev would win.
Nope.
But no, Chad was right on that when he ate the pin from Jinder.
I knew Jinder was going to get the belt. They put all that time into him being the main championship, and or championship. I guess that's more accurate, but the champion, and then he just kind of disappeared from that, so they had to put him in something to keep him relevant. And plus, they're getting ready to do a show in Saudi Arabia. So.
Yeah, that was something.
I know it's no India, but still, it's got appeal.
We didn't think about pre-Mania and everything going into this match. We were so hyped up on the whole Rusev's not happy story that
it's believable because he doesn't get anything and he's fucking over as fucking. He's been over for a number of years now. Like this guy is over. That's gonna, thank God, bring us to Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus the Helmsley kids.
Yeah, see, I went into this match thinking this match was going to suck, and I thought I was right. I didn't care for it. I had a few spots, but overall I didn't like it.
I will echo that sentiment exactly. Again, you know how I feel about the MMA people, and when I heard she was coming, I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. I've heard her talk on the mic a couple times, and I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. We've seen her do a couple of wrestling moves in the ring during the build-up prior to this, and I was thinking, I don't think this is a good idea. And I remember watching this match, and the first move Ronda Rousey does is a Conan-style rolling clothesline, and she absolutely nailed it. It looked so textbook perfect that I was like, I'll be damned.
But that made me go, are a lot of these people all putting things on for first impressions? Like, oh man, but that clothesline. And maybe forgave her for other not so...
Yeah, I didn't think... After that first move, it was great. After that, not so much.
That's what I believe. I believe she nailed that move, and then she slopped or stiffed everything else. Yeah. Now, we're going to rewatch this match at the end because...
Everybody seemed to love it.
The response from this match was almost universally that it was the best match of the night. Ronda Rousey gets an A+ in her debut, and I'm like, are you fucking people watching the same match as me?
People from the business actually claiming possibly best ever.
Yeah, and
ever Mania debut.
Yeah.
Have to watch it again.
Yeah,
we're gonna
do it again. Maybe try to be more open to.
I almost feel like it's one of these movies that you hear get panned from all these people, and you get to watch it for free on cable, and you go, oh, well, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah,
didn't have to pay anything extra for it, but. It wasn't as bad as everybody was.
I just remember at the time not being impressed at all and thinking, I don't think this is a good idea. Yeah. Still, it didn't change my opinion of her at all, but I'm telling you, everywhere you look, Twitter, Facebook, the newsletters, the rumor sheets, everywhere you go. Universally, people loved this match. So, yeah, we're going to watch it again, and we're going to actually do a watch-along with you on the WWE Network if you have access to that. And that should be fun. We're going to give it another chance, because as of now, I would have to give it like a D.
Yep.
It was an uninteresting, sloppy, stiff.
Yeah, outside of that, it's like Kurt Angle was one of my favorites. I loved Kurt Angle. But seeing him in the ring now, or even worse on the mic, it's kind of sad. Like, he looks like he's hurting just moving around in there.
If I had to choose a highlight out of my memories right now, it would be when Rousey had Triple H in the armbar, and you thought for a second there, maybe she was going to tap him, and that would have been kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Is Triple H really going to use himself to put Ronda over?
Why I think I graded this match like a C- because of I was going,
I'm not.
I got to give Triple H a little bit of credit here. That he's willing to...
I'm going to make you my bitch.
Can I say also that might have been the greatest way to end that match? If he would have tapped, I would have liked it a lot more than what actually happened.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good with seeing Stephanie get fucking beat up.
Well, yeah, that too.
She got in way too much offense, though. Like, she should not have been getting in near as much offense on Ronda Rousey as she should have.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it the win was Angle pin Triple H?
No, it was Rousey made Stephanie tap
Stephanie tapped
to the
him.
armbar.
Yeah.
Oh, sure enough. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna watch that again, and we'll have. Well, hey, if I'm wrong, I'll eat my fucking words. But I don't know. From what I remember,
I also wanted to put a note that Kurt Angle was actually the third person that, after a line of first trying to get The Rock and Rousey. Yeah. Then they offered it to Batista, presumably.
Yep.
And he didn't want it before it finally went to Kurt Angle.
Well, I thought he was number 2. I didn't hear the thing about The Rock, but if that's true, that's hilarious. I just heard Batista.
Oh, yeah, they wanted The Rock all along because of the whole...
What I heard about The Rock is they wanted to get The Rock, Jeff Jarrett, and Elias to do a musical number together, and then that got scrapped.
No, all we got of The Rock was that fucking painful movie preview for the Page movie. Repeatedly.
At least we only had to watch it 12 times.
Oh my God.
At least it was only 12.
No wonder WrestleMania took so fucking long, because they spent an hour promoting that goddamn movie with this exact same scene over and over again.
Hey, but then they spent at least a good 45 minutes on panning to John Cena out in the audience.
Yeah. What were we up to on the counter? Like 12 appearances before
12,
he ran
and
back?
The over-under was 12 and a hook. I lost that by a half a pan.
Yep.
I lost that by a half pan. Anyway.
Half pan.
Done with that. Smackdown Tag Team Championship.
Well, do we count the cutaway when he was like halfway up the ramp?
I did not.
Well, then that could be like half.
Oh, damn. Y'all owe me money. We got Harper and Rowan. I refuse to call them the Bludgeon Brothers. I need them to lose that stupid fucking gimmick right now, and they'll be my favorite tag team. Versus the Usos versus or at least the New Day.
Yeah, you can call them keep calling them the Bludgeon Brothers if you want, but get rid of the fucking hammers and the outfits.
It's just so 1987 that it makes me sad.
Yeah, they can just bludgeon them with their fists. They're big fucking redneck looking motherfuckers. I mean, I know they're not. Well, Rowan looks like, or Harper looks like a definite fucking down south boy, but Rowan's from shit, I can't remember, somewhere across seas,
like Norway or Sweden, somewhere in there.
Well, I think Harper's like the baddest fucking big man right now. He's a badass. That guy moves really quick. He does high impact moves. Rowan's pretty cool. I don't not like him.
Right, yeah, he's definitely the weaker of the two. Harper's the star. But...
He's great. That guy, it's weird how a guy that big can move that quick.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, it's a trip. But
I can remember going, okay, what's with the little people dressed up as pancakes?
Short stacks.
Yes. But then when they did that 3D stuff and the Hammer Brothers came out and started smashing those midgets, and then in the 3D Tron, all of a sudden they had Mario music and had 100s popping up. That was a little much.
I wasn't impressed. This one, I pretty much called this match to a T. I almost predicted exactly what was going to happen. that it was just a quick stomp squash like it had happened already a couple times previously on the TV show.
Being a big fan of the Usos,
I
I
thought
just
that was
didn't
dumb.
want to believe that was going to be this squash.
Way to shit on the Usos. I mean, and the New Day. They shit on... Arguably, they're two top tag teams in SmackDown, and they shit all over them at Mania.
Agreed.
And like, if you're gonna do a squash match, that should have happened beforehand. You should have had like a... Well, fuck. You can't have them fighting each other, building up. Well, I guess they were fighting each other anyway. So yeah, you should have had a fucking match beforehand, and did that as a squash match, and then actually had a longer match at Mania. But you could still have the Bludgeon Brothers go over.
I understand they're getting a push and all that, but yeah, you did make your two top tag teams kind of look like bitches.
Yeah, I'm pissed about that. The Usos are my favorite tag team.
We're going to talk more about tag teams looking like bitches a little later on.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to the highlight of the evening, Undertaker John Cena.
Ugh.
Boy, the build-up was just incredible. The match paid off in every way, and I'm lying about both of the things I just said.
Yeah, and they used Elias perfectly. Oh, wait, no, that's a lie, too.
No, they blew that, too, didn't they?
I liked him being out there, but that
believe
was
this
shitty.
is the first time in a long time that I've heard boos for Elias.
Well, yeah, because they set him up for that. Everybody thought it was going to be The Undertaker coming out, and that's Elias. They were pissed. It made him think there for a second, like, well, fuck, we're really not going to get The Undertaker.
It was bringing me back to the Rusev thing, and I'm going, okay, Elias is really over, but WWE really wants to bury him.
Yeah.
And I know this is skipping ahead, but I won't say the name of the debuting returning star.
Oh, you can go ahead.
But, Bobby Lashley returns on Monday Night Raw following WrestleMania. In basically 5 seconds,
That was...
our man Elias.
Yeah, that was terrible, too. I don't like what they're doing with Elias at all. I think Elias is going to go to SmackDown. I think after the little superstar shakeup or whatever, they're going to put him on SmackDown and hopefully make him more of a top guy over there. I mean, not that they weren't at Raw. He was getting some top matches. He headlined a couple. Or main evented, I should say.
Well, thank
Another
God I
guy
didn't see
over.
too many people praising this match. Look, we had like weeks of John Cena on TV talking, like pretty personal type shit about The Undertaker. Obviously, it's a work, but I mean, he was doing it.
Right.
And then to get this out of all that, to get this match, I don't know, it seems I don't understand where they're putting their time, what they're investing their time in. It's a squash match.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and the match is over. John Cena gets like no offense in that I can remember at all. It's this.
Yeah, it was...
He slams him down, and he's about to do the "you can't see me" thing, but Undertaker...
Yeah, he bounces off the ropes and comes back, and Undertaker's sitting up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And
Cena
John
does the
Cena
ridiculous fall down.
He's like eek a
I
mouse
pooped
or
my
something, like
pants
he jumps
face.
on the table because he's fucking afraid of mice.
Because Undertaker does his classic.
It's just a big waste of time.
Giant waste of time that did nothing for anyone and made everybody look stupid.
But, damn, what about that lightning?
Thanks for reminding me of the stupid pink lightning. You know what? When that happened, I was literally angry. I was like...
Yeah, that you couldn't come up with such great lightning effects.
It's our cheesy moment of the week, eh? Geez, man, what a fucking piece of shit that was. I have nothing good to say about the match or the outcome at all.
Like I said, the only thing I can say that was good about that is supposedly apparently that was supposed to resurrect his outfit or whatever, so we didn't have to deal with the American Badass,
yes.
Kid Rock fucking debut, or not debut, but intro.
You know what the other good part about it was? 2 minutes and 45 seconds and we're moving on. Daniel Bryan's return.
Yes.
Teaming with Shane O'Mac versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Trying to keep their jobs in SmackDown.
Yep.
Doing the classic bad guy start.
Yep. Aaron was
Good
calling that one.
guys.
Aaron
Just
couldn't have called the
determined to
beginning of
watch
this
it.
match any better if he had to. He said, they're not going to let Bryan even get in the ring, and I'll be damned if Owens and Zayn didn't come out of the audience and kick his ass before he got in the goddamn ring. By the way, he laid on the ground like 10 minutes before he actually got up and got involved in the match.
Yeah, Shane took the ass beating for a while.
Yes, he did.
Shane was really selling that hernia.
Yeah.
To the point where you almost wonder if he wasn't selling. It looked pretty good. It looked like he actually was having some troubles.
No, he's still, I mean, for a guy, I wasn't expecting much from him, but even for his age, he's doing all right. That coast to coast was great.
Loved it.
Okay.
Loved the coast to coast.
Because they were acting at the beginning of that match like, Shane, we understand if you don't want to continue with Daniel Bryan getting that power bomb and everything.
Right.
And
yeah, they actually had you wondering, like, shit, is he injured again already? Did they kill him?
Took it to him, holding his guts in and everything.
Yeah. And finally Daniel gets in the ring.
This is another match to me that was impacted by rumors to where I kind of expected a different thing. A lot of people were talking about a McMahon heel turn on Daniel Bryan. It didn't happen.
Or even possibly a heel turn by Daniel Bryan, but I definitely didn't believe that one. Like, he just came back. He's going to be your biggest baby face.
He's the face. Yeah, exactly.
Later, I had found out that, of course, they were doing some kind of WrestleMania 24-hour thing with Daniel Bryan. And then afterwards, it all sort of made sense that they went the total good guy route of a clean win.
Right.
Over Owens and Zayn.
It was a good match. I wouldn't say it was great. It was just good. It was watch. It wasn't a letdown like what we've been talking about so far. It just seems like we haven't had many good things to say about any of the matches we've seen so far. But that match was all right.
Yeah. So you had to have Daniel Bryan pick up the win. It's his first match back.
Of course.
So
it had to be done.
That was your feel good moment for the night. Really.
That leaves Owens and Zayn without a job, and I guess we'll get into that a little more when we talk about the Raw after Mania. Anything else on this one, you guys?
Not really.
Me neither. All right, the next one is the Raw Women's Championship. I wouldn't call it a prediction, but what I wanted to see out of this match was for Nia to come out and just shit can Alexa. A squash match. I wanted it in this particular match. You usually don't want a squash match on a pay-per-view, but that would have been the perfect outcome for me personally.
Right, yeah, I agree. I wanted the same thing. That was, like I said, that was the match that had the best build-up going into it.
But instead...
That's why you wanted to see that squash match, because you wanted to see her finally get her hands on that bitch.
Yeah, and we almost got that, but what we really got was Mickey getting absolutely ragdolled at the beginning, just
slammed around.
Yeah,
over and
Mickey
done
took
with.
the ass whooping.
His favorite toy.
She was whipping her back and forth off the guardrails by her hair.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, Mickey took the ass beating that Alexa should have caught.
And then Alexa was catching that same ass whooping. And it looked like I was going to get my wish, but then, the quick turnaround, and then she starts working the leg on Nia and so on and so forth, which is what you do against a bigger opponent. I get it. But it really looked like it was just going to be a severe beatdown.
They just had to do this is your moment to show, no, she was there was a reason she was champ.
Yeah.
And everything. Give her that little moment before Nia does finally...
And that's clearly what they did, but what I wanted was just destruction. I wanted the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, see, what I thought was it was going to be something like Nia was going to come down and just lose her shit and beat the hell out of Alexa and, get herself disqualified because she's just so emotional.
Yeah, that was your original prediction.
And I thought she was going to leave Alexa a heap in the ring and Carmella was going to come down and cash in. But then when Asuka lost, I was like, well, there kind of goes that. Because they're not going to have Carmella cash in now.
That brings me back to thinking that I thought for sure Carmella was going to cash in at Mania just because of how quick everybody just threw her out immediately in that women's battle.
Carmella was the other one that was rumored to be the winner of the Battle Royal. That's what it was. And when we seen her go out so quick, I was like, well, there goes that.
Yeah.
The rumors were incorrect.
Well, she got eliminated first. I took that at first. I was like, well, she was first one in, first out. She's going to definitely cash in tonight. That's why they did that.
The first two out of the women's battle royal.
Yeah. I love that they pointed out that there was a historical very first ever elimination.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, geez, okay, I guess that's a nice.
Wasn't she first
Honor
one
to
eliminated from the Women's Royal Rumble too?
I don't remember that one.
I can't remember either, but for some reason I want to say she was. Maybe it was Dana Brooke.
But anyway, yeah, Nia's your new champion. It was pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
Not as one-sided as I would have liked, which is weird to say about a match on a pay-per-view, but
Still not a bad
that was
match.
the one that I would have liked to just see her just wreck the place, but okay.
Yeah. It still wasn't a bad match. I mean, Lexa's a good worker. Nia's not bad. She's starting to use her size like she should.
I agree with
But
that.
I have a feeling they're already going to pull back on that.
I think Nia, I mean, if you really watch her matches, she's actually, like, kind of dangerous still. I mean, she's not the... Like,
She's not smooth.
Yeah, it's a little clunky, and she, every now and then, like really lays a move in. Like, she did a couple things to Asuka that were very, very solid.
Yeah.
In a previous match on Raw, I was like, woo. But
I liked a lot of their matches better in NXT than the ones that I saw between Nia and Asuka.
I like angry Nia, who uses her largeness to her advantage. I hope they keep her going that route. We'll see how it goes. I like angry Nia.
Right.
Me too.
Let's go to the WWE Championship, or as the graphics would have you believe, the Universal Championship, because when AJ came out, they called him the Universal Champion. Did anybody notice that on the graphic? Go back and watch, because it's 100% true. We got AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura and his knee-to-face
Yeah.
that he's so well known for.
That was a little bit of a disappointing match, honestly. Like, I was expecting a lot more. It wasn't a bad match, but once again, it did not live up to the hype. Which wasn't a lot of hype,
it
I
was
guess.
a decent lead-up. Pretty decent.
Yeah, like the back and forth, the whole getting in each other's heads, stopping short of each other's finisher and shit.
Yeah.
Wasn't
To me, it's
a
just
bad
seemed
lead-up.
rushed. Like they said, okay, we're sorry, but we had to cut 5 minutes from your match.
Yeah.
Go.
Not to keep bringing rumor and innuendo into this crap, but we were... prior to this, AJ was rumored to have injured his knee or had an MCL issue of some sort, but then he appeared on Raw or Smackdown or whatever it was, and it looked okay, I guess. But in this match, it seemed like for who it was, AJ and Shinsuke, it would have been a lot more action. It would have been higher pace. They would have accomplished more. It seems like not a lot really happened.
Yeah.
Another two, almost like the 205 match where it was two guys that you're used to such a fast pace and everything, and it just seemed really slowed down. In another match where it also seemed like, wow, that's the ending?
Yeah.
Okay, it's over.
Two of the premier names, you expect, I don't know, maybe a little more out of that.
But we did get a surprise at the end there, after AJ gets the pin. And, thought first Shinsuke was going to congratulate him. He starts to bow to him. Like, what is it with them and making everybody bow? Like Triple H making Jinder bow to him in India. Like, Jesus Christ, when's this going to stop? But then we get the...
Dick punch!
Yeah, dick punch from
Ray J.
Shinsuke.
He did make it look good. It was a classic heel dick punch, you know, the whole big where you bring your arm up and you stick your hand out of the legs to make it look obvious that I punched him in the dick. Everybody see my hand?
And
It's
he
by
follows
his
it up and SmackDown a couple days later with what, like 3 more. Apparently Shinsuke is just gonna be the dick puncher from now on. But
I loved his no speak English thing. That thing was funny as hell.
That was great.
Really nice.
Sorry, no speak English.
That was very good.
But yeah, I liked the ending more than the match. Probably I didn't see the Shinsuke turn coming, but I like it. I'm curious to see where they're gonna go with it.
There's a lot of criticism about that online. People don't like him heel turning. I think it's great. I think he'll be good at it. I think he'll be really good.
He's already had 2 title shots now, and he's lost them both. So at this point, you know, you gotta turn him, try something different, make him be a little bitter about it. So
And I'd love to see him get over even more as a bad guy and stuff. Don't let him not quit doing this hilarious. Be a bad guy, but
yeah, be a smart ass bad guy.
Like
an
a
Asian
Piper
smart ass bad guy.
or something where you're like
Use his broken English to the advantage, just like they did. No speak English. But.
Agreed. It looked like the dog wanted out. We're good. I'll cut that. All right. Well, I don't even know if I want to talk about this, but we have to. Braun Strowman. And
what a fucking disappointment.
Nicholas. Referee John Cone's son, Nicholas.
I couldn't even tell you who John Cone is.
In a tag team barn burner against the Bar, or the Boar as I like to call him. I don't like this team at all, but I definitely think that they deserved a hell of a lot better than what they got.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do this, you should have had Braun just beat him by himself.
I don't like this Nicholas crap at all.
You should have came out there and said, my tag team partner is these hands.
Supposed to be a feel-good moment or whatever. I didn't feel good about any of this.
It seems like they're going to use a kid.
They build it up so much that you go, and you know that there's capable guys, Big Show, Big Cass, Samoa
there were
Joe,
so many
all
rumors,
sitting in the
so
back
many names for possibilities.
and everything. And then they come out and pull this 10-year-old.
Yeah. So they should have just brought out Goldberg's kid. Like, here's Shirtless Boy.
I heard a lot of people saying, man, that kid that won the Warrior Award.
I was just going to say that. If you're going to use a kid, use Jarius.
That dude is really cool, by the way. I don't know. You guys probably don't watch a lot of NBA basketball, but, you know, he's there a lot, like in the press conferences and shit, and he'd be, like, roasting the players and shit. He's a cool little kid. He really is, man.
He was easily the best part of the Hall of Fame awards. Especially when he was saying, I'm so far over, I could probably get a match before John Cena.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't watch him. I won't lie. I skipped him on the Hall of Fame thing.
I didn't watch the Hall of Fame at all.
I just wanted to see the Dudleys, and they didn't let me down at all. Them guys are funny. Anyway, Braun Strowman and Nicholas win the belts. Relinquish the next day. I don't even want to talk about that.
It's going to lead to a tag team tournament after they do the shakeup.
Yeah, this... well, actually, that's already began.
Oh. Shit, did I miss that?
Yeah.
They must have cut that from the Hulu version. Fuck.
Probably. I don't know. I don't even have anything to say.
They don't seem to like Matt Hardy
this match,
on Hulu.
I feel like this match insulted my intelligence. It wasn't even a match. It was a fucking gimmick. It was a fucking spectacle and not a good one.
Yeah.
I'm done. Anything else on that, you guys? I just really don't like that match.
I wasn't a fan of it, man. I liked Braun beating the hell out of him, of course. That was great. But I don't like what they're doing to his character.
Who's Braun's partner going to be? And you just assume it's going to be one of the guys coming back from injury, and you get Nicholas.
Yeah, if they didn't build it up the way they did, if there wasn't so many rumors, then maybe it would have gotten over a little better.
Boo.
But
I give it a thumbs down, seriously. I can't even talk about it anymore. Didn't like anything about it.
Yeah. Oh, and they're actually acknowledging that kid as a champion because he did hold the belt for a day. So he is now
the youngest
ever champion. And it's like,
really?
Damn.
That's fucking stupid.
Fucking lame, dude. You know what?
Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe.
Nicholas.
Right. What if you got some kind of crazy prodigy kid, like a son of a wrestler who's fucking great. He's only 16, so like as soon as he turns 18, you bring him in, he gets some kind of title. There's your youngest champion ever. No, it's never gonna happen because Nicholas was 10.
Yeah.
And I'm still not convinced it was a boy.
But somebody's gonna get those hands in 8 years. All right. Let's move on to the big match, the main event. The WWE Universal Championship. You got Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
Boo!
Our two favorites.
This man.
Our two favorites.
Yeah, I was going into this thinking this was going to be garbage, and I can't believe that they're having Roman fucking main event 4 WrestleManias in a row. Like, When are they going to realize their mistakes? When are they going to stop with this shit? But thought for sure he was going to win.
We'd be remiss if we didn't point out that Brock Lesnar was supposed to be dropping the belt and moving on to UFC, and this is pretty much a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Until the day
I
of
would
the
call
show.
you a liar if before WrestleMania you came to me and said, yeah, Brock Lesnar is going to win.
Yeah, I said you were full of shit.
I wouldn't have bought it. And from what, I don't know, reports say, Vince McMahon himself changed the outcome that day. Changed his mind about how to end it.
Well, it was right there at the end. He didn't like the negative pop that Roman got. He was afraid of how it was going to sound when they go off air, all the boos and shit.
That makes me wonder, does Vince McMahon watch WWE wrestling?
Right. Does he ever watch? Because he gets booed every fucking
I've
where he
never
goes.
heard Roman get anything but a negative pop unless he's with the Shield. For some reason, look, listen here, people. That's where he should be. Get that group back together. It's the only way that he'll ever be over. And if you're so dead set on having Roman Reigns be the guy, I don't see any other way to do it, because you're not going to be able to cram him down our throats. Nobody's buying it.
The Shield's not coming back. I think when Ambrose finally makes his return, he needed to come back as a heel. I've already seen things saying that next year's main event of Mania is already rumored to be the 3 guys from the Shield. Like, 3-way match. So, we'll see how that goes.
Anyway, pretty one-sided match. I mean, it started off reasonably equal with a couple of Germans and then a couple of Superman punches.
For a while
A
there, we
spear or
were
two.
taking counts on.
They were really taking
German
advantage of
suplex,
their...
Superman punch.
Yeah.
And it was going back and forth, and then somehow Brock ended up just getting a bunch of those in a row.
It becomes really one-sided, and
Roman just keeps kicking out.
And we're supposed to probably be rallying behind Roman Reigns at this time or whatever.
Like, oh my god, he just kicked
after
out
the
like
fourth
4 F5s.
F5, and he kicks out.
We're all still operating under the assumption that he's going to win, that Brock Lesnar is going to lose. And so I'm thinking they're letting Reigns kick out all these F5s to put him over, to make him look like this like invincible super badass.
Yeah, especially after Brock split him open and he's sitting there bleeding all over himself. And he's screaming at Brock like, oh great, here it goes. This is it. He's got the blood lost and he's going to start roid raging.
That was a damn nice gash, by the way. And hard way.
Yeah, accidental from what I've heard.
Well, at least unplanned.
Yeah. So it didn't seem too
remember
accidental.
us watching that and actually having to go back and go, no, I see it right there.
Yeah, that was not a blade job.
It was a fucking razor blade elbow, too. It's the last one. If you watch the replay, he hits him 1, 2, but the third one skims him with just like the edge of the elbow, and it slices him right open. It's 4 realsies, no doubt about that. But, I mean...
Which Vince was none too happy
so what?
about.
It didn't make it a good match, and...
No.
This was almost a lose-lose, because I don't care which one of these guys won.
Yeah. So.
It was what it was.
Yeah, Brock.
2 guys in the ring, and it ended how it ended. I got nothing else on that either.
Yeah, Brock surprisingly gets the win after like 5 or 6 F5s, and Roman just about passing out from blood loss.
I just couldn't help but go also when it was Braun against Brock. Braun was dominating that whole match, and it only took 1 F5 to take Big Braun down.
Yeah, I know.
But
fucking Roman, shoot him with a tank, he's gonna kick out at least once. So, yeah.
So there's that too.
But it was also like anticlimactic. Like, it was surprising because it was like, oh shit, we didn't expect that, and Brock and Paul didn't like stick around. They pretty much rolled out of the ring and split. There was no pyros or nothing.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like the closing of the Mania. Like I heard it went off air, and there were still people out there. Like they had to send someone out to say, okay, well, thanks for coming. That was the show, because people like thought there was gonna be more. And then I guess after that they set off the pyros. But at that point, it's like, who cares?
Things I saw was I remember going, oh wow, that was a weird ending. And then them coming back a little bit later and Roman doing the sad John Cena walk to the back.
Yeah, so that was the end of Mania, thank God.
Mercifully.
Yeah. Was not good in my opinion. I don't want to give it a D. That's a little too harsh. So I'll give it a C, I guess.
I'll give it a C too.
That makes C's all around.
Maybe
It's a sea of mediocrity.
maybe this would have went a little better if I hadn't watched Takeover New Orleans the previous day. 'Cause
Right.
it's a hard
That
act to
was-
follow. I don't care who you are. I think
There
that
was a
kids
Ring of
really
Honor
put on a
pay-per-view
show.
that same day as the NXT pay-per-view. And it was, I don't know if it was even mediocre because I was watching the NXT pay-per-view that was amazing. And it was just, nothing seemed to come close to that.
Yeah, I'd only seen NXT and Mania. I didn't watch anything outside of that, but yeah, NXT definitely set Mania up for failure. Mania was no way going to compete with that. Even if they did more things right, Mania wouldn't have been able to live up to or even come close to competing with NXT.
It goes to show you this: you can have all the main roster talent you want, but if you don't know how to book them,
Yeah. Let's say if Triple H is really as much in charge down there as he claims he is, then I really hope he gets more control of the main roster after Vince is gone,
I mean,
which should be like somewhat soon, I think, because he has to bow out and be 100% in for XFL. That's per the
That's
investors.
what
That's
we
what they
were-
demanded. So,
Hoping, I think we were talking about that.
but his
After
boy
Mania.
Kevin Dunn isn't necessarily going anywhere, so we may still just keep getting recycled garbage.
these kids at NXT, man, they got the moves, they've got the story,
And they have Adam Cole, baby.
Now that we got the pay-per-views covered, let's move to the fallout.
Yeah.
Starting with Raw After Mania. Hashtag Raw After Mania.
It's usually always like one of the better Raws of the year.
Absolutely. And a lot happened on this one.
They definitely did the
Open
usual
up.
call-up thing.
Well, yeah, and of course they opened up with Stephanie right away.
They opened with Stephanie congratulating herself, which I actually enjoyed the hell out of her little promo. It was pretty funny.
Well, of course she would
Thank
do
you
that.
for your accolades. Thank you. It was very funny. I enjoyed it. And that brings Ronda Rousey out to respond to it. And in my notes, I have a couple of little notes. The crowd chants bullshit as Steph is pitching a partnership to Ronda. She wants to be her partner and work together, and she calls her my friend. The other note is that Ronda didn't really get a pop when she came out. She didn't get a pop. You just expect the crowd to go nuts, and it kind of didn't happen, which kind of caught me off guard, honestly. And Ronda armbars her after Stephanie hugs her, or during a hug. That's what I got
So
for
she makes it
this.
seem like everything's gonna be cool. Like, all right, yeah, we'll get along fine. And then, yeah, she grabs a hold of her and armbars the fuck out of her again on that injured arm.
While that's happening, the crowd's yesing, but really half-heartedly. Like,
Yeah,
they're just not feeling the segment. You know what I mean? They're not into this at all.
I was a little more into it, but that's just because I can't fucking stand Stephanie, and I'm happy to see her get any kind of ass whooping she can get.
I was just surprised by the whole brace thing. Again, like her just ripping off that brace and then just going full-fledged for the arm.
Yep.
Well, if you don't like Stephanie, then you'll like my next couple notes. After Ronda walks off, they zoom in on Stephanie writhing in pain, and the crowd begins to chant, "You deserve it."
Yeah, you deserve it. Yep.
When they finally get her up, we get a na-na-na-na, hey, goodbye chant.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll be the last we see of her for a minute. but I
No.
doubt it.
Here's the good part. At which point we hear the PA announcer get on the PA and say, and I quote, "Have some respect for Stephanie McMahon." At which
I did not hear that.
massive boos.
I do remember that.
Which made me make a final note. Stephanie's over as fuck as a heel.
Oh yeah,
she's over as fuck.
Oh yeah, she's
so
up until
take
now.
much.
She was always that. You hated her even more, like even as the villain, just because she never got her comeuppance.
That have some respect thing was a fabulous touch.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, that was great. And then the immediate wall of boos, I was like, oh, you guys, that was good. I really liked that a lot. I really did. Made
That's
me
one
laugh
thing
out
you gotta
loud.
like about the WrestleMania crowd.
Yeah, it literally. Oh, by the way, that crowd was banging. I don't.
Yeah, that's
Other than when Ronda came out, they didn't seem to give a shit about her. But the rest of the night, that crowd is on fire, dude.
That's one of the best things about the Raw after Mania. It's always the crowd makes the show. Which goes to show you, if you put the right wrestlers over to get the crowd into it enough, any show can be.
It also brings me
better.
back to if there was that kind of crowd, lack of participation, maybe we're not too far off with our initial assessment of Kurt Rousey.
Yeah.
Literally no
the
pop
H's.
with that crowd. I mean, it was enough to make a note of it. Like, wow.
Yeah. Which it's surprising that they were popping as much as they were for the night in general, because this is mostly the same crowd that was just at Takeover and Mania. And the chants on those nights were great too. The fuck Ciampa, the this is awful chants during the Brock and Roman.
This is awful.
Yeah, the chants were great. The crowd was, like I said, they helped make the show. Maybe not for the best the way the WWE wants to, but they make the show nonetheless.
Evidently, especially when the crowd chants in a match that Rusev's not even in, and they're chanting Rusev Day.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's just like you get the CM Punk chants when
Looking
CM
over
Punk
my
has been
sheet
part of the
here,
company in years.
they really got a lot done on this episode of Raw, and especially in comparison to SmackDown and NXT the next couple days, they really got a lot done on Raw. Let me try to power through this shit here. My very next note is that some video package for Roman Reigns, almost like a Roman Reigns promo, happens. And the crowd is booing the whole time this video promo is on, which leads us into Nia Jax against Alexa and Mickie James, and Nia Jax doesn't have a partner.
Oh, but she
Yep.
does.
I had to
have
go watch this on
Alexa
YouTube. It was cut to shit.
Heel promoing the fuck out of Nia, making more weight jokes and saying really horribly offensive things again, which I guess that's the thing they're going with now, with
Which WWE cut
like
from their YouTube.
anti-bullying type shit. But then Nia says, I got a partner. I do have a partner. Let me call her out. And that's the debut of our girl, Ember Moon.
Yeah, but I hated when she was like, I got a partner, Ember Moon. And like 5 seconds later, her music hits. Like, y'all should have timed that a lot better. Like,
Yep.
maybe don't have her say anything.
That's a nice little production note, if you guys are listening.
I know they were worried the crowd wouldn't know who Ember was because she's from NXT, but at the same time, like I just said, this is the same fucking crowd that was just at Takeover and Mania the night before. Mostly.
Wasn't she
They're
in
gonna
that
know
Women's
who
Royal
Ember Moon
Rumble?
is. Yeah, she was in the Women's Royal Rumble already, so
Well,
I think they kind of blew that a little bit.
they bring Ember out to actually a really big pop, a nice pop.
Yeah.
And on her debut, she gets to do her finisher, get the pin on the former champion, Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You can't ask
Which is good
much more
because
for
that's
your debut.
as the former champion, that's what she needs to do is put over the new talent.
It was quick, but it was cool. I don't have any complaints about that. In fact, I really just enjoyed this Raw. It was like a pretty cool Raw. All right. The next segment, we got Kurt Angle in a promo backstage with Braun and Nicholas. Oh, yeah, this shit again. At which point, Braun relinquishes the titles. We get a little promo from Nicholas saying someone's going to get these hands.
And Kurt tried to set him up on a date with Becky Lynch.
They have to relinquish the titles because Nicholas has a scheduling conflict, which turns out to be because he's in 4th grade.
Yep.
I don't like this still. I'm done unless you got anything to say. I'm moving on to the next fucking segment.
No.
Done. On to the next one.
Let's debut No Way Jose, baby. That was a lot of fun. Now, it was like a 20-second long squash match, but his intro, the conga line.
They have to give somebody that Adam Rose, Rosebuds, that big group of people having a good time coming down since after the Hammer Brothers destroyed those pancakes for the New Day. You know,
that was... Yeah.
It's nice to have that niche character.
I'm not a big fan of No Way
Good
Jose.
guy.
I wasn't a fan of him really in NXT, so...
I have to say that...
He'll be gone in a year.
What you're saying right now, I was surprised to see him just in general, like, he's got called up, but he really didn't do anything in NXT yet.
Yeah. I mean, he's a bigger guy, though. That's one of the reasons why he got called up. Like, I didn't realize how big he was, but he's 6'3", 240 or something like that, so he's a big dude.
Well, he won his debut match in a squash about a minute against the legendary John Skyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody knows him.
That got him right over with
I follow that guy on Twitter.
That got him right over. It's not too much to say about that. Nothing really happened. It was like 1 minute of like 2 moves. We're going to get a Kurt Angle promo backstage again with The Bar this time. Where they're like, hey, we'll take our belts back then, seeing how them guys didn't want them. And that's when Kurt Angle announces the tag team title tournament, which will culminate at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Starting immediately after this promo, the tournament elimination round begins with the Revival versus the Club. I'd like to...
What are they even doing with the Club at this
match?
point?
Chad and I have a little joke going about the Club because... what's his fucking name? I forget their names. Carl Anderson. Whenever he does this kick where he like runs up the ropes and kicks a dude, and he always goes hi-ya! And I'm like, that's what Chun-Li does, and that's kind of like almost like a racist stereotype at this point. But it makes me laugh every time, but not in the good way, more like in the damn it, quit doing that way. But it is pretty funny. Hi-ya! Anyway, the Revival pulls out the win.
If you can't do a hi-ya kick, get out of this freaking business.
If you can't say hi-ya, yeah. I see the Revival winning this tournament. That's just my call. No real reason. I couldn't tell you exactly why, just other than... I'm hearing they're going to get a push, and I believe they need one, so this would be the thing for them.
I would see Hardy and Bray getting it ahead of them.
I can see that because of... It's very rare when you get WWE going, okay, neither of these two teams are face.
Well, plus, I mean, you want to get more focus on Hardy and Wyatt, because you get the whole Hardy compound thing. Like, they introduced everybody... into it already, so yeah, I want to see Bray Wyatt and Vanguard 1 interacting. Could be his buzzard.
Dude, it says Miz comes out and does Miz stuff.
So he was awesome.
That's the kind of notes I make because that guy is so fucking good that you just know what I mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, the next segment, we got Rollins, the new champion, coming out to a really nice pop and some "You Deserve It" chants. He comments on the pop like, "Wow, I really appreciate you guys," because it was.
He's over as a face.
At that point, the crowd popped even harder after he acknowledged him. So I'm like, all right, well, he did that right.
Yeah.
I think he even in that same promo there came out and said something about the whole Grand Champion thing.
All Shield members are now Grand Slam winners, yes. I made a note of that for sure. Just as he's talking about that, out comes Finn Balor interrupting because we can only have these people work together and nobody else. And then challenges Rollins to a title match, which Rollins accepts.
Yeah.
Until the Miz comes out and does Miz stuff.
Yeah. So fuck you. I'm getting my rematch.
Indeed.
But I ain't getting it tonight, Rich. You're waiting until the pay-per-view because I'm fucking pay-per-view material.
He invokes the rematch clause, but not at the Greatest Royal Rumble. We're gonna have to wait till Backlash to see that one.
Yeah. The actual pay-per-view, not their special event.
At that point, Miz and the Miztourage issue a challenge to Balor and Seth. Will take you on. Blah, blah, blah. Out comes Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's back.
Yeah, along with his rainbow sleeves.
Teams up with Balor Rollins.
Oh, there you go. Now you know why. Rainbow sleeves.
And
they can match fucking Balor's rainbow socks. And
at that point, the Miz and company retreat, but that lines up a match later on tonight involving the
Rainbow
same
Bright
parties.
Brigade.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. It was all right. It was just really.
So does this mean we're gonna have
lining up a promotional match later on tonight?
Yeah. So does this mean we're gonna be looking forward to a fucking fatal 4-way match for the IC title?
Probably.
Just throw in Joe.
They actually.
No, I mean, you got Jeff Hardy in the mix now. What the fuck did Jeff have? Why would he come out then? Like, that didn't make any sense to me. Like, why was that where Jeff Hardy showed up? I guess they wanted to put him in the main event his first night back.
That are pushing the Matt and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I did like how they had the
like
backstage
maybe he's
thing.
going that
Yeah,
that one way.
I liked how he did the little
On
Brother
his
Nero
own.
thing on the side. So, that was cool.
Next, we're going to get a match between Mandy Rose and Sasha. I didn't really make too many notes.
I'm glad Mandy won.
Yeah. She won.
That accidental clothesline from Bailey looked terrible. There was way too much distance between the
too much
two.
hesitation. It looked like,
Yeah, she didn't even swing until she was past the bit she was supposed to be swinging at.
So that causes the distraction. They get her back in the ring. She's looking at Bailey instead of Mandy, at which point Mandy lands a knee to face and gets the pin.
Yep.
Okay.
Mandy's gonna. I think they'll give Mandy a bit of a push wherever she lands after the draft or mix-up, whatever.
Well, she's pretty hot, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yep.
And
I'd
they
like
got to
to-
do something after the whole
I'd like to see her
Paige
run around
and
with Gold
leaving
Dust.
and-
I thought her and Gold Dust were fucking excellent on the Mixed Match Challenge. I know it was only one match, but their intro was great.
It would
They
be a
flowed
great
together
thing
perfectly.
for Gold Dust.
It's rose gold, thank you.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That-
It's already kind of a gimmick. So you're not doing
He
anything
could
with Gold Dust. Fucking
be-
make it happen.
Like the Ellsworth character, but
Yeah, he could just kind of they could do their thing together. He can be more of a mentor. He doesn't have to do much in the ring, obviously. But
Hey, how come he's not the gay character? Nobody thought of Goldust.
and Goldust kind of is the gay character still.
Fair enough.
He's the OG gay character.
Then that's going to bring us to a pretty major in-ring promo. This is like the what I would call the real news of the night. Paige officially retires.
Yeah.
She announces her career-ending neck injury that I guess no one had ever heard of until just then.
Yeah. Been waiting for this for months. There's all kinds of
She-
speculation still about it.
Issues a whole lot of thank yous to all the women, to Daniel Bryan, to Edge, and pretty much everybody, really. The crowd chants, "This is your house," and gives her a real nice this, that, and the other thing. She leaves a Paige t-shirt and a mic in the middle of the ring and walks off.
Yeah.
Now,
Until she walks off and walks right onto the side of fucking SmackDown.
Well, we know what comes of that, yes, but right here I'm thinking, well, man, that's a real bummer because I really like her. She's cool. I like her.
I kind of
movie
expected her
work
to
a lot.
disappear. Yeah, that's the thing. I thought she was gonna disappear and go like promote her movie a bunch and make the rounds with that shit.
I was more into her homemade movies, but that's fine.
Yeah, starring Brad Maddox and Xavier Woods.
And the NXT belt.
when your ex-side chick becomes your boss.
UK invasion.
Brings out Elias. The crowd's popping. He calls him an unappreciative crowd full of scumbags, which I really, really appreciated that.
Yeah, I love that he's able to interact with the crowd.
How can the WWE kill this?
Yeah, he's out there promoing and playing a song, like it's what he does, and I'm
Way
loving
over
it.
than most.
And then out comes Bobby Lashley, and that's one of our big surprises in the night, although people did call him returning.
Yeah.
But here he comes. Looks fucking fabulous.
Yeah.
He looks like
still
he's
a big ass dude.
kept himself in perfect shape.
I know he's been in TNA for a while, but haven't
Doing
heard him or
the
anything in there. It's like
Big bulldog suplex, holding him up in the air.
Yeah.
for
I mean,
that
I remember
extended
when he
length
was here
of time.
before, he sucked on the mic. He was absolutely terrible. So hopefully he's developed some sort of personality over the years. I don't know. Like I said, I don't watch TNA, so I didn't see anything of his work in there. But yeah, they had to feed Elias to him. I wish they'd do something more with Elias. Elias has just become
Rusev?
a fucking whipping boy, basically. It's like, oh, well, we need someone to interact with the crowd, get him pumped up, and then get his ass beat. I know. Let's get Elias out there. Rusev's busy tonight.
If I was going to make a list of the wrestlers I like the most, I think you would probably be the first one. He's completely over with me.
Oh, yeah. Elias is one of my favorites. He's great.
I love the gimmick. He comes out, plays a little tune, insults the fuck out of the crowd in the town he's in. That's some classic heel behavior, man.
I can't believe how well he's gotten over on the main roster, because like in NXT, he wasn't that great. He was all right, but it's almost like he stepped his character way up when he got to the main roster, which is the exact
Definitely
opposite of what
way
happens
back.
to
He
people
cuts
when they come to the main
promos.
roster.
Now, we're talking promos and playing music and shit, but Elias is a big, ripped dude who looks like a wrestler to me and has every business fucking being there. It just so happens he also has a really fun gimmick. So, man, you know, I really like the guy. I really do.
I
think
can't.
he's great.
He looks just like the fucking Macho Man sometimes, with this fucking brow and shit, I swear.
He does.
So, yeah, Bobby Lashley comes out, squashes him, gets a pop. We'll see what becomes of him. I don't know what they're going to do with him.
I don't like to use Elias to get other people over already. I mean, it's a little early for that, I feel like. But whatever, it happened.
I don't understand the whole Rusev or Elias
Yeah.
WWE.
They don't know how to use guys. And they're good, especially ones that seem to get themselves over. Like, WWE doesn't painstakingly put in effort to get them over, then they're not happy that they get over. It's almost like their writers suck and don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And then if anyone who's not a writer has an idea that works, it pisses them off.
Yeah.
Like, no, I was going to write something like that.
How dare you get those polka dots over?
I'm glad to see them finally get the whole woken Matt Hardy thing back on track. Because when it first started up, I'm like, oh, WWE has completely fucking ruined this. Like, this was the greatest thing going, and now creatives got their hands on it and put their little spins on it, and it sucks. But it's starting to get decent again. Like, I think they're starting to give Matt more of the creative
Especially,
rights
I think
to it.
when they saw the hits that the YouTube videos were.
Yeah.
Look, you don't want to
Gone
get
shit.
me fucking rolling on that shit, because I'm one of the people
Yeah, I
who
know,
was
you
with
don't like
Cole.
it.
I thought it was the most ridiculous thing ever on a wrestling show, but, you know,
I
maybe
have
we'll
to
discuss
say
that some other time.
part of what I like about it is what exactly you hate is because of once I started watching that,
It's supposed to
I
be
forgot.
ridiculous, you
I
know?
forgot I was watching Raw.
Yeah, it's supposed to be goofy and ridiculous.
Okay. Well, I guess it's not for everybody, but I guess nothing's
Right.
for everybody.
Some people like cock suplexes.
Yeah.
We're going to next get another backstage promo with Kurt Angle, this time with KO and Sammy. They're trying to get a job, which wouldn't be anything special other than the two notes I have. TNA burn.
Yeah.
He says, I hear TNA's hiring.
Which is funny because TNA technically doesn't even exist anymore.
Right, it's not really TNA anymore, but it was still funny. I even made a little meme
like a
about
double
it that
jab.
went over pretty well. And that lines up for KO and Sammy to have a match later on Raw to see who gets a job. We'll discuss that later. That worked out great. Our guys Slater and Rhino, the tag team juggernaut that is Heath Slater and Rhino, come out to the ring and challenge any tag team. They'll take on anybody. They
Gee, I
ain't
wonder
afraid
who's going to come out.
to fight any tag team. Now, when this happened, I contacted Aaron and I was like, are there any other tag teams that are supposed to make... Oh, no, this was later on when I did that. Okay, never mind. It was in the next match. But anyway, the Authors of Pain come out and make their debut. They answer the call, and they squash him real quick. Like,
well,
The only catch of this match, too, was, once again, ending after a super fast squash.
yes.
Yep.
And they just all of a sudden decide... The manager that they've had since day one in NXT,
Precious Paul.
Yeah. Paul Ellering.
That they don't need him anymore.
Yeah, he's been pushed aside.
Yep.
He tried to walk up the ramp with them. They both put their hands out to stop him and walked away.
That was the only other note I had. AOP ditches Ellering, and I actually drew a sad face because I like Paul Ellering, but
Yeah.
okay.
But dude's like 70.
Yeah.
Go back to enjoying your life. There's not much left.
Okay, not much more to say about that. It was their quick little squash debut. It seems to be how they do things here today.
Well, that's how it needed to be,
Yeah.
especially for those guys.
I agree. That's why they...
Considering who they were fighting.
Well, when you see that it's Heath Slater and Rhino, it's like, okay, here comes a squash match.
Exactly.
No
one cares if you got kids.
Up next, we get the in-ring promo that we've all been waiting for. Robin Reigns comes out. We learned that he took 12 stitches and 10 staples, but that's not from him. That's from the announcers. Massive boos, massive go-away heat.
Like usual.
At this point, we get another fake shoot or a work shoot or whatever you want to call it, where he's calling out Vince McMahon, claiming he's being left out of the loop.
But you forget the most awesome sign I've seen in a long time. And it's something we say here all the time. You gotta love the boo this man sign.
Oh, yeah. Boo this man. Yeah. He calls Brock Lesnar Vince's boy, and I'm like, the first thing I said is Vince's boy just called Brock Lesnar Vince's boy.
Yeah.
So I found that to be humorous. Just a bunch of chatter, and then out comes Mojo to challenge him at Backlash. Not the greatest Royal Rumble, but at Backlash. They're already 2 pay-per-views ahead doing their setups. No, that's fine, though. I don't like Roman. I didn't care about what he had to say. I didn't believe any of it anyway. I'm not cool with the fake shoots. If you're going to shoot. If you're not going to, just do a fucking promo.
Hopefully they let Joe actually like beat the hell out of him a bit. I'm sure Joe will never go over. But Joe's a great worker. Joe gets the crowd behind him. You heard the pop. The crowd was happy to see Joe back.
I did make a note that he got quite the pop when because he's fucking Joe, man.
Yeah. So they've worked good. They've worked well together before. Like some of the best matches I've seen with Roman Reigns were Roman and Joe. So hopefully that'll be good again.
After that, they gave us Titus Worldwide in match number 2 of the tag team elimination deal against
I'm suddenly sleepy.
Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. And they did a little promo prior to that with Brother Nero. I think that was the thing you were making reference to earlier.
Yep.
Just a quick moment. I didn't make any notes other than Matt and Bray won, so it must not have been eventful if I didn't write anything down.
Titus Worldwide was in it. It was terrible, of course.
Like, I always take too many notes, so if I didn't write anything, it must have been pretty sleepy.
Yeah.
Just remember Wyatt pretty much dominating once he got...
Right. Yeah.
Well, like we just said about, you see Rhino and Slater in the ring, you know someone's about to get squashed. Yep. You see Titus Worldwide in the ring, you know they're going to lose.
Right. And it went just like that. Up next, they give us the Owens and Zayn payoff match to see who gets a contract, but I shouldn't have called it a payoff match. Why not? Because nobody fucking won.
Yeah.
There was no
decision.
It was a double count out, or a double, what do you call it if they're in the ring and they don't, a double TKO or whatever the fuck it was. It wasn't a count out because it happened in the ring. They just both weren't unable to
answer the count.
Right.
Yeah. Could not answer the count of 10.
Well, at this point, why bother? I actually liked this idea when I first heard it because I thought one would win and then they can have a little problem with each other and they can keep that going a while. But it didn't happen. And they just ended up a pointless no contest, basically. I don't know why they even did it other than to get Owens and Zayn on TV because they never get TV time. See what I did there? I didn't make any additional notes again, and I didn't even write down who won because there was nobody. Get your little Bray Wyatt Hardy spot there again after that. Is this the main event? Or are we at the end here? Okay, we had the little last match of the night. They give us Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and Jeff Hardy against The Miz and Miztourage.
Team Rainbow.
Mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
My personal notes include Hardy also in rainbow attire.
Yep.
Hardy does very little and looks slow. Not that I don't like the guy. In fact, I love the guy. Now,
Dude's
granted,
40. He needs to start slowing down.
He's an older dude, and it's his first match back after a while. I get it, but still, not the Jeff Hardy I expected, I guess. Rollins gets the pin over Miz, and then they shit can the Miztourage with like 24 finishers.
Of course, it's the fucking Miztourage.
It was great. I like that part.
More of the same.
Yeah.
So I'm sick as fuck of the Miztourage, but at the same time, I don't want you to don't take him away from Miz until you can bring like Maurice back. If you can get once you can get Maurice back.
I didn't realize the all-star talent that was on Raw until just now. Yeah. You got Rhino and Heath Slater. You got Titus Worldwide.
So I said
this.
After they do this shake-up thing, they really just need to cut a shit ton. The roster's too full as it is, and if they're going to switch to every pay-per-view as a Raw and SmackDown pay-per-view, then that's even more people who are going to be left off the main cards. They need to trim the fat. They had 3-hour shows, and it's not enough time to promote all their wrestlers. Mostly because they're infatuated with fucking self-promoting and replaying themselves over and over again.
I really wouldn't mind them going back to, hey, you're a local wrestler in this town that we're doing a show, and
local competitor.
If they're going to have a squash match, have it with Mr. John Schuyler.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even got to do that. Like I said, there's enough talent on this. You can have your jobbers on the fucking main roster. You already got your Tyler Breeze, your Fandango, your fucking Heath Slater, your Rhinos, Ty Dillinger. He's going to be nothing but a job guy. There's enough guys on the roster to have your job guys without getting the local guys, although the local guys would save you money. So...
Well, I personally, I remember the jobbers in the 80s, like Mike Rotunda and fucking Hercules Hernandez, They all still kind of were, like, around and you knew who they were,
Right.
It seems like they've just, like, lost their way with some shit. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not some professional, but it seems like they do things wrong to me a lot.
Yeah, how many people they have on the roster that we're forgetting about because they never use them? Like we just referenced Goldust, but that was because of the Mixed Match Challenge. Outside of that, when the fuck do you ever see Goldust? R-Truth just came back. You think we're gonna fucking see anything with him? Really? No.
And speaking of Goldust, that's a good point because the guy can work.
Yeah,
he's a really good worker. He's
for his age,
he's been doing it forever.
Well.
And
Talking about
I feel like he hasn't really slowed down even.
Yeah.
Moves. Despite younger guys working slower than him.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like then you got the was it Primo and Epico?
Yeah, wasn't one of those guys.
Those dudes are still on the roster. You haven't seen them in months. Yeah, like, you forget those guys even exist, and they're still there collecting a paycheck. Like, these are the type of people who need to be gone. You already got people that are getting some TV time that can be your jobbers.
And you go, oh, R-Truth, you're still here?
Yeah.
You're killings me with this shit. All right. They did get a lot done in Raw. I mean, the last couple matches were kind of like, or the last couple portions of the show were kind of like a downer after the quick start, but I enjoyed Raw after Mania. I would give it like a B. Not a ton of actual matches happened, but they got a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
They accomplished some things.
Yeah, and then with the shake-up coming next week, they'll be doing a lot to progress hopeful future storylines here soon. So
we can all hope.
Smackdown after Mania opens with Shane O'Mac promoing in the ring. He announces that Daniel Bryan will no longer be GM, which I didn't see that coming. I thought he'd be a GM and a full-time wrestler because there's no conflict of interest there. But what I didn't see coming was the next thing he said. You all want to take this? Who wants to bring it out?
The new fucking
general manager of Smackdown.
Paige.
This is my house now.
Still not sure what I think about this. I like her. I think the timing was weird because 24 hours prior she gave this speech and it was really nice and it heartwarming and stuff. And then the
next night she's like, "Oh, I'm back." Like,
hey,
well, fuck, that was short-lived. Huh?
Hey, it's me again. And as her first move as GM, she announces Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. We get yes, yes, yes chants. End of segment.
I'm surprised her first announcement as SmackDown GM wasn't, "Hey, look at me. I got a new movie coming out with The Rock."
Wait until you watch this one scene from it that is probably the highlight of the movie because it's The Rock.
We're going to watch it over and over again because this is my house now.
Now, admittedly, that Rock promo was pretty good in that little preview scene. But
it made you realize how much you miss wrestling.
Oh, man.
It's like, hey, watch this Rock promo so you can just absolutely hate what you're watching now even more.
If I remember anything about The Rock is that he owned the crowd. The promo master, dude. He was like the boss. I loved it.
Yeah.
Anyway, what the hell are we talking about The Rock for? We get the New Day, and I made a note that it's E and Xavier Woods because Aaron likes to say whenever it's E and Xavier, they lose, and when it's E and Kofi, they win. That proved to be the case this time, too, as they lose to the Usos.
I bet you anything Xavier ends up on Raw just so that he's not around Paige.
Big E and Xavier break out a few new moves that I'd never seen them do before, and the commentary is all about the New Day could be broken up, which leads me to believe the New Day is going to be broken up.
Yeah.
I've been saying that
it needs to happen.
Has run its course. I feel like
they've been together for what, like 5 years now or something?
I feel like we also all agree that Big E would be a fabulous wrestler on his own.
Yeah.
I'm hearing he's going to heel turn on the boys according to rumors, and we know how those worked out at Mania, but according to rumors, we're going to have a Big E heel turn, and I want that to happen.
I think, honestly, out of the three of them, I'd rather see Kofi make a heel turn. I mean, I want Big E to go on and do his own solo thing for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much I want him to be a heel because he's good on the mic. He's exciting. He's got that personality to get the crowd hyped up, you know. That's not really something a heel does.
Really easy
You've got a point
to like, but it'd be really hard for Big E, I think, to go over as a heel.
Yeah, don't you dare be sour.
Yeah.
Very stiff match. This match was it was like the Ember Moon and what's her name was. They landed every move like really solidly on each other. I don't know why or what got into them, but they both were just kicking each other's asses. I gave it an A.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great match. I really did. I was like, damn, okay.
Yeah, it was a good match.
They come to play.
Well, any two teams should know each other by now.
Yeah,
they come to.
We know they're always going to deliver. They're one of the best.
You're exactly right. It was just. I wasn't surprised it was a great match. I was surprised by it was a stiff match. It was very snug. They were right there. They were fucking laying them in.
Yeah.
They followed that up with Natalya versus Naomi, which Natalya is one of the best female workers, if you ask me.
Yeah, she's great. I just hate her fucking gimmick.
Aaron opened my eyes to that. I never really noticed her as a worker until he made me kind of pay attention, but he's right. She's really good.
Yeah.
But this match was boring as fuck, and it sucked in that Naomi won.
Yeah.
So.
No, she's a good-looking woman in her mid to late 30s, and she's crazy cat lady. Like that's fucking dumb.
But
we get it.
Like
sorry, your husband won't fuck you.
With like the veteran women and everything get these wacky gimmicks. And everything. Mae Young.
I mean, Natalya's never been strong on the
Victoria,
mic, I guess, so she doesn't. In my opinion, she doesn't need much of a gimmick.
I think her real value is in making the other girls look good.
Yeah,
she's
the ring general.
Right, she's one of the few people who can make the other girls look good.
She's the one that really gave notice to Charlotte. The matches that she had with
Yeah.
With Natalya and NXT.
She's the one on SmackDown where it's like, okay, we need this girl to have a good match. Put her with Natalya.
Yep, that's exactly
Over
right.
Raw, so you need this girl to have a good match. Put her with Mickey.
Or Bailey.
Or Bailey, yeah. Well, see, Mickey's been there a long time, and she
I
makes
can't,
everybody look good.
I can't speak highly enough of Mickey. I think she's a fabulous wrestler. No. I didn't really all the way know that till recently, but she is great. She's one of the best ones for sure.
Yep.
And she sold that beat down by Nia at WrestleMania, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She
earned that WrestleMania check for not being in the ring.
They're going to give the win to Naomi. You know, that's what she's there for.
Well, of course, she just won the first ever women's...
Is it Naomi or Naomi, and I'm doing it wrong?
Naomi, I believe is how they say it. So.
All right, just making sure because I want to be that guy. We get a Charlotte promo next, which, you know, I don't care one way or the other about her. I think she's a pretty clunky, stiff wrestler myself, but
she's all right. She's got her matches.
That's who she's pushing. That's who's, or if that's who they're pushing, that's who they're pushing. But out come the iconic duo, Chad's favorites.
What are they gonna do, though? You're talking about Charlotte, the person that beat Asuka's streak.
Yeah,
Come on now.
What are these two bumbling idiots, fucking
Peyton Royce
Australian
and Billie
lesbians
Kay? Now, these girls are Australian. They come from NXT. I've been watching NXT for a long time, and I don't think I remember ever seeing these girls. I pointed that out earlier.
They haven't been seen in months, and suddenly they reappear. Peyton reappeared at the Battle Royal the night before. I don't remember seeing Billie Kay in there, but she may have been in there, and it just wasn't that noticeable.
Well, a scuffle ensues, as one would assume was going to happen. They team up, and Charlotte gets beat down pretty good. She's left laying in the ring.
And then we hear the worst spelling of the worst word you could have possibly hear at the time. And down comes Carmella. And speaking of down comes, that fucking referee came down with a case of Down syndrome.
Good Lord. Aaron was so mad at that. He kept messaging me about it. This referee's a fucking idiot. It was great,
that was fucking terrible. He stalled that shit for an entire minute?
It might have been a full minute.
Yeah.
It might have been a whole minute of,
what did you say?
Are you sure?
4 times. Sure? You want to cash in this briefcase? This briefcase right here. And he turns away.
You want to cash it in, you're saying?
Just so I know, let me fucking Regis Philbin you on this. Final answer.
Right.
Do you want to cash in this briefcase? And he turns around, comes back again. Just so I'm clear. It's like, oh my God, motherfucker.
Now, I see what they're trying to do there to kind of build a little drama to make you be like, come on and do it already.
Do it another way.
I guess it worked, but it was more like annoying. You know what I mean?
Right. And say, if anything, make it to where he has to explain it more to the ring announcer or something. Stall it that way.
Yeah.
Don't make the fucking...
It made him look like a bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah.
I was waiting for him to drool on the fucking briefcase.
But Carmella cashes in and wins, I mean, after all that.
Yeah, with the worst kick ever. The missed kick.
Yeah.
I don't even think that came close to hitting Charlotte, but it won her the title.
Hey, man. Now, at that point, I'm angry. Not because of that, because I don't care about all that, but why did you burn the streak at WrestleMania to have her immediately drop the belt like this? I feel like it was poor planning. I feel like you've made your two big female stars look like fucking punk-ass bitches.
Well, I mean,
now.
I get they want to put Charlotte on Raw to build up a feud between her and Rousey, but... Like you said, why end the streak if you were going to do that anyway?
Yeah, it was a waste, man.
If anything, it'd been better if Asuka won at Mania, but just barely her and Charlotte beat the piss out of each other, and she's laying there mostly dead already, and then have Carmella come down and cash in.
But you forgot.
And Carmella ends the streak, but you take into consideration, Asuka just got her ass whipped by Charlotte. She pulled out the win, but they just had a hell of a match. She was weak as fuck. She
still looked strong.
Yeah, she looked strong.
We were sort of hoping that was going to be one of the scenarios that we played out at WrestleMania was that Carmella did Rollins and came out and somehow pinned Charlotte.
Made the match into a triple threat match.
Yeah, that could have even worked.
Without Asuka actually taking a pin or anything to lose the match.
Yeah, so they really dropped the fucking ball there because now it's just like, well... Charlotte looks weak. Not because she had the thing cashed in on her, but because she got her ass beat by two fucking...
Noobs
from fucking NXT. We've seen Asuka fight off 2-3 fucking women at a time before.
Yeah, see, that's it. Why would you use Asuka's streak to put Charlotte over and then use her 2 nights later to put these 2 hacks over it? I don't get it. It was just not. I don't understand what these people think.
So does this mean we can expect the Iconics to start running with fucking Carmella?
Or where's the beef now?
Another shitty trio.
Who does Charlotte feud with now? Is it the Iconics? Is it Carmella? Is it all 3 of them?
Charlotte's
so
going
now
to
she's
Raw.
Gotta beef with fucking...
So it all depends on the fucking mix-up, honestly.
It's just not here for me. I didn't like it.
Oh, Charlotte's going to go to Raw. Nothing's going to come of it.
I don't care about the cash-in and all that. It's the previous shit that made it be really dumb to me. I feel that was just a bad move.
Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be like Becky will come up and start a feud with her and then finally give Becky the belt back.
That's another person I got to add to that list of people they just won't
they
over
won't.
on their own.
Yeah. Crowd loves Becky.
Like
Becky's a
Rusev
great
and
wrestler.
She is.
She's a very good looking chick.
Among the most beautiful girls on the roster. And that's really saying something at a WWE roster.
Like, and she can wrestle. I was like, why aren't you cashing in on this girl? No. We're gonna have Carmella. This dirty, used up, skank looking bitch.
I got a great segment up next. Let's do it.
Here we go.
It's a match we never get to see, so I'm glad they finally gave it to us. We got to see Rusev versus Randy Orton and Bobby Roode in a triple threat match.
No way.
And the winner gets to fight Jinder Mahal at Backlash.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
See, now I was thinking, like, all right, cool. They're going to give Rusev a little bit of a push here. They'll give him the win. They'll build them up. They'll have, they were in the League of...
WWE Crush.
Yeah, they were in the League of fucking Nations together.
False. That didn't happen.
No.
Really?
That did not happen.
Really?
Rusev did not get the win. Rusev did not go over. They gave that one to Randy Orton again because we don't see enough of him and he hasn't been around long enough.
Oh, yeah. Randy Orton needs the push. We got to keep him. Because, Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal put on some fucking barn burner matches for that regular title. That fucking Punjabi prison match was amongst the greatest of all time.
Man, you're right about that, brother.
Oh, my God. That had to be the worst fucking pay-per-view. Actually, that was voted, I think, the worst pay-per-view of 2017.
My
Even
only
with
notes.
Khali's spot?
Yeah, even with the Khali spots.
My only notes are this: they did a couple of table spots, but the table never broke for anybody. So Rusev got slammed down hard. The table did not break, and then they come back to it, and Orton gets slammed on the table.
Those little side slams like that never break the table. I'm not sure if it's that they don't slam hard enough, or if that's just not their plan for the table to break on that move, or what? Because nobody ever goes through the table on that one.
Well, I'm of the opinion if you're not gonna
go through the table, why
break
do it?
the gimmick table, don't bother. Okay, so yeah,
just expose some cement like the fucking Ciampa match.
Randy Orton with the win in that one. That lines up Orton versus Jinder at Backlash. That's fun stuff. We get a Carmella promo next backstage. Nothing happens. Another backstage promo with AJ Styles claiming that Daniel Bryan is great, but he's not phenomenal. It's a nice line. And takes us to our main event. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great match, of course. It's AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. I mean, a little slower. Daniel Bryan's still fucking shaking off some of that rust.
But that's exactly what I got. I have a slow start with some cross wires, unexpectedly sloppy, but then it picked up. There was a blown spot off the top rope that I don't remember now, but it must have been painfully obvious, or I wouldn't have noted it. And
I had a hard time getting hyped for this match because I almost like the Owens and Zayn for WrestleMania. I felt like I knew that they weren't going to let this be a clean match and that somebody was going to interfere.
Well, you got that right, buddy.
Shinsuke,
yeah.
Dick Punch.
Dick Punch.
It was definitely my number
Dick
one
Punch again.
candidate for interference.
Knee to face.
Yeah,
fist to penis.
He does, in fact, interfere, hands out some Kinshasas to everybody. Then we got...
a nice fucking hard one in the back of Daniel Bryan's head. Like, why?
It's like, he just got
Stop
back,
hitting
dude.
him in the fucking head so hard.
What the hell? What part of concussion don't you understand? We got lots of "you suck" chants as he walks off, and heavy boos. So I mean,
the heel turn's in full effect.
He's getting there. I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm completely fine with the heel turn. I really am. That's it for this show. Quick run through on NXT after Mania, and the reason I say quick run through is because it was basically a recap clip show with 2 matches.
Yeah, that's kind of typical for the first one after Takeover.
It opened with a Takeover New Orleans montage, which is replays, if you want to use a not nice word. And then we get Kairi Sane versus Lacey Evans.
My only complaint was just the length. I seem to remember about 2 commercials in this.
I thought it was a good match. I liked that it was a little longer. They're 2 good workers. They work well together, surprisingly. And fuck it, you don't have a whole lot going on the show. If it's a recap show, you might as well,
And the ending was kind of rough.
Yeah.
The only notes I have are many blown spots, but good action. And Lacey, during Kairi's top rope elbow, sits up into the elbow and eats it like Thanksgiving dinner, dude.
Yeah, she did that on purpose. That was good on her part.
Maximum stiffness.
She sold it well.
You can't land an elbow off the rope any harder than that. If that was on purpose, bravo. And if it wasn't, what did we learn?
Yeah.
Because she took that 100%, absorbed it all. Anyway. The only other match of the night was Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli versus Heavy Machinery, which did not have an ending.
Me.
Because
the War Raiders.
We had the debut of War Machine from Ring of Honor. They're now
War Raiders.
They're rocking the new name, the War Raiders, probably because War Machine was already a tag team before, and there's an MMA dude named War Machine as well, so they probably just had to move on.
Such nice things to his girlfriend.
No, he didn't. I like that you knew that. Welcome to NXT War Raiders. I got nothing else at all. I mean, it was a pretty uneventful match. Oh no, Otis Dozovich or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, the fucking...
That motherfucker can work for a big man. That guy can move his fat ass. And I was really impressed with him in just a few minutes I watched him in that match. I'm like, wow, this kid is working it.
He reminds me of a handicapped porta potty. That can move.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I was saying that I just couldn't take him serious with that name of Otis.
Well, his name is Otis, and that is a problem for me, too. But
I either think of a little pug or the name O'Toole.
Yeah. But yeah, even after watching it 2 days in a row, basically watching the recap again of it, was still entertaining.
Yep, completely.
Good show.
Fucking stellar. Here we are, the moment you've all been waiting for. We're going to rewatch the Ronda Rousey debut match. We're going to get you to queue up your WWE network here. WrestleMania 34, obviously.
We're at the 129.20 mark.
Yep, we're at 129.20. We're going to give you a quick count in and hit play. And we will see if we missed anything here and we're just wrong, or people other than us are wrong.
Yeah, we're also going to partake in this bowl here to see if that help our spirits any.
I mean...
Yeah, there's a lot of WrestleMania down.
It is high marks, so, I mean, we have to live up to that moniker. We're going to start the match in 3, 2, 1, and play.
Oh. Going no audio.
The game.
I did mute it. I can unmute it if you want, but I thought
it's fine. We're the announcers, basically.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, we can call it and we can offer opinions while we're going. Right now, we got the Helmsleys in there, and we're about to get...
We just missed them spitting their water, which they weren't really spitting their water. It was more like a gag reflex from them blowing themselves the whole way down to the ring.
I don't want to know where all the liquid came from.
I was just throwing up.
Sure.
They drank too much water in the bag, throated themselves too deeply, and there you go, spitting water.
I've made this comment before, but obviously not on the podcast, since I was the first one. But I love that Kurt Angle has just totally like, fuck it. If you're gonna say you suck, let's do it. He has completely embraced
he loves
it. I think he's really cool for that.
He was so happy to hear it at the Hall of Fame induction. That was like his favorite thing, I think. Which that was the best he was. He did his Hall of Fame speech. He was great. Everybody loved it. He comes back as manager or Raw general manager, and it's not really gone well for him. Dude cannot talk anymore. It's kind of sad. And to see him trying to work in the ring now is also kind of a bummer because, like I said, he was one of my favorites of all time. But so even now you can see his arms are so atrophied. Like, he looks like he's in pain half the time he's wrestling.
I do have to say that was probably the... If we're going to go a pro Ronda route, he looked like the worst part of that event, and you thought that it was going to be a lot of Kurt and Triple H in this.
I definitely assumed that the men would carry the match. Yep. That didn't necessarily turn out to be true, but that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, here comes Ronda. I like this little outfit, actually. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, she actually looks pretty hot in this.
She looks great. They're obviously playing on Rowdy and all that. I feel like she wasn't very comfortable wearing this small amount of clothes. You can watch her multiple times during the match adjusting her outfit, pulling the legs back down over her ass and shit, which, you know.
It kind of needed to be done. I mean, not complaining about it, but yeah, at the same time, it needed to be done. Otherwise, it was just going to keep getting worse.
Right.
And she smiles a little too damn much. Like, I get she's happy, she's new, you know, she's happy to be there. It's exciting.
You know,
but at the same time, like, tone it down just a bit.
That's actually a complaint that a lot of people had. One of the few complaints, because there's not many people that say many negative things about this match, which blows
suddenly
my
there
mind.
she is, she's straight faced and fucking angry
like
looking.
we
Like,
talked
that's how she should
before.
have come out, really.
Right. You don't come out
Some people
smiling
saying
before your big match.
Yeah. So if anything, you be all smiley after you just won. Then you're allowed to be
Debut
happy
ever.
because you just won your debut. You just beat the shit out of Triple H and Stephanie.
I gotta admit that Ronda looks like a wrestler. She could do this.
Yeah.
She has the look.
She's still green. I mean, I'm not like burying her in the future. She's green. She's got some work to do, but she's got a lot of potential.
And of course, my only problem ever is the same one I've mentioned several times now. I'm not wild about MMA style people in wrestling, but I mean,
it'll fit right in if they actually get picked up by Fox and they try to do that fucking angle where it's WWE versus MMA. The more I think about it, the more I hope it doesn't happen. I think it sounds terrible.
I don't like it either. I mean, I like the idea of having some kind of war, having competition, but not that kind.
So you'd have to have a few of the MMA fighters that would come in and do matches in WWE. And I don't mean the ones that are already there, because the ones that are already there need to be like MMA fighters. If you
There was
have
Stephanie
matches
with a
against
cheap
each
shot
other.
before the match.
Yeah.
Actually, two
Stephanie
different
with the
ones.
face
Here's
wash.
The second one. I love this one.
Oh yeah, pulled her down by her hair.
Down by,
And she
by
hightails it out of there. That's good stuff.
Why is Kurt holding her back? I don't get that part.
I don't get that either, honestly.
Just let her go. Let her kill her.
And we got
Triple H try to get in a fucking sneak shot, but
we got ref guns in there from NXT.
yeah,
I like to call him that because his arms are about twice as big as half the NXT guys.
his fucking arms are bigger than Kurt.
Whenever he holds up the belt,
Yeah,
it's like, wow, he looks like he should be
Holding the
walking
belt
out
for
with that
real.
belt, you know? Ref guns. His name's like Drew something or something.
shit, I can't remember his damn name at the
no
moment.
idea.
It might come to me eventually. Drake
Wirtz.
Drake Unger, I believe his name was.
Okay.
He was a independent fighter.
Really?
Or not independent fighter. He's a indies wrestler. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah. Well. I understand.
And they picked him up. Now I guess they couldn't do anything with him, or maybe he got an injury or something. But they turned him into a ref. So.
Yeah, I haven't commented much on the match yet. I'm kind of waiting for Rousey to get in here to.
Not a whole
really
lot
pay
going off.
attention.
It's the early start. You got a lot of rest holds already with Angle in there.
Yep. I'll comment again that Triple H looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, in
His
awesome
face, you
shape.
can see he's finally getting old, but yeah, he's still ridiculously jacked.
Yeah.
That's because him and Stephanie do workouts late at night at 4 a.m. and better than Olympic athletes. Steph baiting fucking Ronda in.
Low bridge that wasn't very low, but they'll play it like one anyway.
You know.
And then her, what? I was just standing here face.
You know.
I dig Steph. She's pretty good.
She's gonna be in that bitch, yeah.
Pretty good heel behavior out of her. I like it.
She's actually a fairly big woman, too.
Yeah, she's large.
Like,
Here comes
Ronda
Triple
gives
H
up size to her.
trash.
I like how he had to
Rousey.
wave to Stephanie there to get her to go over and do the fucking spot.
It's your classic additional heel behavior, but yeah, you're right. She did have to be cued.
Yeah, she should have known already.
Like, hey, man,
Guns having to hold back Rousey.
Yeah, of course, Rousey getting baited in again.
I love it.
But that's more touring experience.
It's like some
Oof.
classic old school wrestling.
Jacked or
stuff
not, it
there
looked like
when
Triple H struggled a bit to get Angle over that rope for that suplex.
When you lure the good guy in the ring and then you get a couple
I don't
extra
know about
shots in
those.
while the rest distracted. This classic.
We've been talking about hard shots.
Yeah.
Those weren't any of them.
Right. Those shots were definitely not stiff. They were flaccid. Stephanie again.
Doing Steph stuff.
Steph.
We got Triple H and Rough Guns hashing out some things.
Back and forth. Angle finally trying to make his comeback with his weird overhand sideways punches.
Did any of those hit?
Spinebuster. I'll be damned. He kicked out after that spine buster. I thought that was it.
No, pretty sure that was only a finisher when he was terrorizing.
Steph like, oh, honey. Terrorizing. Wow, man, I forgot about that.
Deep cut.
That's a deep cut.
Oh, playing on the hot tag.
Yeah. Can't reach you. Yeah, this is just slow.
Well, if
Lots
Kurt
of
Angle
resting
didn't
already.
have T-Rex arms,
I'm
he could
wondering-
probably make the tag.
I'm wondering who
Yeah.
the agent is on this because they're kind of doing a lot of classic stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
old school.
they kind of have to. I mean,
Yeah.
Angle's
You wonder
not really
how-
in the best ring
if it
shape.
was
No.
Triple
Ronda's
H
fucking
who
new as shit, so.
had called this match.
It's like, much as I hate to say it, Triple H and Stephanie did most of the selling for this match.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been great.
Classic moment.
Wish you would have actually hit her.
The commentators had made some sort of reference to that had happened like the previous year, and he actually did hit her. I didn't catch that, but
Yeah, I think
must
he-
have happened.
No, I don't think he hit her. It was like he hit the ropes and knocked her off, is what it was.
Okay. I gotcha. All right, we got two guys on the ground selling.
No.
Ronda wants in bad. Hot tag.
Why is Kurt's hand wrapped if he's beating it on the fucking mat?
That's a good question.
Oh, can Triple H grab his
Ah, here we go again.
Stephanie from
Steph
behind.
Doing Steph stuff.
Yep.
Steph stuff.
I really do like
Ronda-
that kind of shit. It's
Say
classic
Ronda
heel
sold that,
behavior.
or she made that fall look good.
She
She's
sure
selling
did.
it well.
Went straight down and landed flat on her face.
Yeah, even from that angle, it looked solid.
Yep.
Yeah. Triple H with his, I'm gonna do my backflip thing. I stole this from Shawn Michaels. Yeah. This one goes out to HBK.
Shawn Michaels.
The Heartbreak Kid.
And Now, here's where Kurt Angle takes 22 minutes to make the tag, and it's very funny. I was cracking up about this.
Come on, Kurt.
You got it. Come on. All right.
Fucking idiot.
There we go. Hot tag.
It's like Stephanie wasn't even paying attention. She fell asleep or something. Oh, wait. Fuck.
Hair mare over the rope. She gets hung up. There is my clothesline, baby. That is just gorgeous.
Clothesline.
That was perfect. That was
There's a blown spot.
Up.
Very stiff.
But didn't look terrible. I mean,
it actually looked good.
The fuck up before it didn't look good.
No.
Stop. Kick. Shorts down. And then this just didn't look good. No, if she would have just came in and hit her car once with that body blow, that would have looked a lot better. Blow,
that would have been the way to do it. You're right. I agree with that completely.
Look how much taller Stephanie is.
It looked like Stephanie blocked most of those until that body shot. And
that wasn't
just
bad.
In the closing.
She's got to pull Stephanie's hair out of her hand.
I got your nasty weave in my hand.
Yeah. Bitch, your dye job's all over me. Yeah, Stephanie blew that.
I gotta blame Stephanie for that for sure.
Yeah.
The exploder gone horribly wrong.
Yep. She was supposed to roll with it, and instead she just went straight out. It's like she was too scared.
Yeah, that was. I can't blame Ronda for that.
So yeah, I mean, so far Ronda's been
she just
fairly solid.
Bitch, why did you mess up?
Monkey flip.
Kind of torn. It's like, I like that she's talking shit.
I feel like she's taking too long to do
something. Yeah,
but
she's carrying it out too long.
Yeah. All right,
They sold this part way too much, like with Steph.
For the
also, if you know how an armbar works, we're nowhere close to locked on here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like Stephanie's still fighting it, but
yeah, she's got the lock on.
But this went on way too much. Like she was able to fight this off way too much. Like this is Ronda fucking Rousey versus Stephanie McMahon. Come on, Stephanie is not fighting it off that much.
I think that's what sort of was like. Well, she had blocked that arm bar so many times during the match.
Yeah.
That when she finally did it at the end, it was sort of anticlimactic.
I was just gonna say, I believe that happens again. The same kind of thing happens again, where she's trying to get the armbar on. And she
the good DDT.
Holds her hands together.
Ronda took it well, actually.
Agreed. That was a real
good
bump.
You can see the fucking spot on her face. Yeah, she took that very well.
Yeah, she took it all right. She took it, is what happened.
I don't like how Steph was just all beat down, though, a second ago, and she's reaching out desperate for a tag, and Triple H isn't there, and then suddenly she's angry. Now I beat Ronda's ass. Like, what?
She really is big.
Yeah, Stephanie's a big woman.
She's a big woman.
What's crazy is when you see her next to Nia Jackson, Charlotte Flair.
I don't know if your head is supposed to hit first on that. That looked a little ouchy.
I'm not sure if that was Stephanie or Ronda. Yeah, let's make it worse. Keep kicking her in the head. Oh,
you
no,
can
she's
see Ronda has a bit of a raspberry, and I think that's from taking that fucking DDT.
Yeah. Once again, you mock me, I'm immediately going to stop that shit.
You're taking too long again, I would say.
Here we go again with this fucking Samoan drop. Oh, wait, no, she doesn't do the Samoan drop. Oh, yeah, it's like a swinging Samoan drop or some shit.
We'll call that an F2.
Yeah.
It was pretty solid, though.
Yeah. She did it so fast, the camera didn't keep up, though, so you didn't really see the full impact.
I'm not talking to you, Rousey.
Triple H interrupting with interfering with ref guns here. Oh, isn't this where he yanks her out of the ring and she lands on her face? Here we go. Boom. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
kind of not expected from Triple H to do that, but it happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ronda sold
Kurt
it well.
Angle's still in this match.
Kurt Angle is still in this match. I had forgotten about this.
All red, but he's still there.
Couple of nice working punches, and then what the hell ever that was.
See, if it wasn't for the blue and the white on his uniform, you'd kind of lose track of him. It's like, dude, Triple H is fighting the color red.
And it's a losing battle so far.
Mr. Krabs from Bikini Bottom.
All right.
Not the greatest spot.
It was a good bump,
Yeah.
but not the greatest spot. Yeah, like what the hell? What was that exactly? All right, that's right.
Anybody that's not watching this and just listening is like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You guys suck at describing shit.
no doubt.
What was not a good spot?
Yeah, well, look, this isn't color commentary. This is... Sorry.
Watch along.
Yeah. Okay, we got Hunter Hearst Helmsley is now standing over Stephanie. Stephanie seems to be
Pretty sure that was a breast caress.
roofied.
Now he's fondling her. Oh. Ronda Rousey just popped up behind him. Come on, motherfucker, let's do this.
She really does have some swelling on her face. I think it's from that DDT that she took flat straight on her face.
Her makeup's fucked, too.
Yep.
They should remember that in the future. Do not put a lot of makeup on this girl because it's going to get fucked up.
It's waterproof shit. Ronda wants some.
Talking trash to Triple H. Move, guns.
Triple H is having a word with Ref Guns in regards to him not
He's
interfering
like,
with his...
stand over here, little boy. I'm going to fuck your mom up. I mean, just pretend that's how this was.
Your mom.
Sorry, I got you confused with my kids.
Okay, he'll take a piece. He'll take a piece. Let's do this. All right.
And he'll recoil like a bitch. Once again, these
He looks
punches
like he's
just
being
like
attacked
sloppy.
by bees.
I know. Goddamn mosquitoes, fucking everywhere.
I knew I shouldn't have dipped myself in honey.
Fucking hate New Orleans.
Oh, I got honey all over my legs.
Good roll through pickup. That's fucking impressive, actually.
And she's holding him up for a minute here.
Yeah, because Steph's taking for fucking ever.
Steph blew her cue. You're right.
Thank God she got there in time because Ronda's losing it. Like, all right, I can't hold this motherfucker much longer. When are you gonna learn, Stephanie? Stop slapping the face. All that does is anger.
To the face.
Boy, that's a hard-working sports bra she's got on right now. It is doing its job. And
Fuck
that was
yeah.
a really decent slam into the barricade there. I like that. Stephanie didn't look too happy about it.
Fuck Stephanie.
Ronda's a pretty strong chick, man. Just be
Yeah.
tossing people around like that. That was pretty good.
Like, she looks like she's in
just
shape,
sold that
obviously,
pretty
but she
good,
doesn't look
too.
like she's as strong as she is. Because as we pointed out, Stephanie's
Damn,
a big girl.
Mr. Krabs again. Out of nowhere.
Mr. Krabs. All right, now I'll call him that from now on. That was hilarious. I also would have accepted Red Man, but Mr. Krabs is way funnier.
Classic belly to bellies, and then the classic knee drop.
Knee to face.
1, 2.
That was a good one.
And eventually 3.
Yeah.
Perfectly executed on the last 2.
Yeah. Counter out of that.
Everybody's favorite move, another counter.
Could it be the
Followed
angle
by
lock?
another counter. Into.
Everybody's favorite move,
Nope, another
another
counter.
counter.
And then, yeah, everybody's favorite move, the fucking catapult.
Can
Slingshot,
I
whatever.
just say something about the pedigree real quick? If you watch Hunter in the old days, he used to do it right. Where he didn't let go of the arms and he didn't hurt
John
people's
Cena
fucking
2.
head.
Yeah.
Now he lets go of the arms and still lands it wrong somehow. It's like, dude, man, pick another move if you can't do it no more. I wonder if it's because he's so much larger now that there ain't that there ain't as much room between his legs. Do you know what I mean?
Can't take a pedigree out of this freaking business.
Get out of this freaking business. It's like, I can't remember the last time he like nailed a good-looking pedigree. It's just like it don't happen anymore.
Now Stephanie getting into Kurt's face.
Look at that look in Kurt's face, though. He's just picturing his wife right now. He's like, yeah, you talk all that shit all the time. Well, guess what? I'm finally going to do something about it.
Yep, he's like, damn it, and you have nicer feet. That's all I had, sorry.
Now, once again, holding for way too long.
Yes, again with the...
That time he was pandering to the crowd. But yeah. It's like he forgot how to do an ankle lock after all these years. He doesn't remember.
In pedigree.
There's your half a pedigree that still looked like it hurt.
And Ronda to save the match.
Yep. Good job. Boy, she really is looking good.
Now they're playing up.
Pretty good job of selling. I mean, pretty good job of selling.
Now it
Probably
looks like
helps
he's
a little
going
to be
for a
like
pedigree
bitch,
on
her
Rousey.
Fucking eye hurts. It
right.
Probably helps a little bit.
Selling it.
And then what the hell just happened here?
Yeah. No, I decided I'm going to go with shit.
Armbar on Triple H.
All right, now when I was watching this originally, I was really hoping that this was going to be the end of the match. If he would have tapped out, I think that would have been a great ending for this.
Right.
And with Kurt, maybe not even purposely, looking over the ring apron, just looking in at this.
Yeah.
Would have been a good spot.
I'm just going to make
Stephanie with the save.
Public service announcement about arm bars here. I think the wrestlers need to trust each other a little more and go ahead and extend their arm all the way to where it looks like it's actually in an arm bar.
Right.
Because when they're basically have their hand curved like they're making a muscle, it don't look like you're in an arm bar at all. So, I mean, you just need to trust people. Trust each other, you know. It's, the whole point of this thing is to make it look good without actually hurting them.
Yeah. This point right here is like, yeah, you knew this was going to be the end of the match. Drag it out a bit.
I feel like Kurt nails Ronda here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it happened right after I said it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, he really hit her pretty good.
Yeah.
He's not good at this anymore. You can tell he hasn't been doing it. You know, you can just tell. Watch this. Watch how hard he hits her. Boink.
Yeah. Shoulder right to the side of the face.
Shoulder to the side of the face. And
that
I think
was almost
it's
as
the
good
same
as
side of the
clothesline.
That's a
from
fucking
Ronda at
penalty
the
flag in the
beginning of
NFL.
match.
Mm-hmm. Targeting.
Yep.
That was fucking
Personal
targeting.
foul.
Kurt Angle.
On the Stars and Stripes.
Red team.
Red team foul, yep. She sure took that one. Oh, look, all right. I'm already building my opinion here. I still don't think this is a great match or a great debut, but she's okay.
No, yeah, I'm willing to admit I was definitely overly critical the first time because
yeah, but not to the point where it was the best.
I can't call it the best
match of the
debut.
night,
Yes,
or
definitely. My opinion of the match itself hasn't really changed a whole lot.
No.
But Ronda's performance,
Yeah.
I was a little overly critical the first time around because, yeah, she did well.
Yeah,
Here we are again with the
watching
armbar
this
block.
again, and there's a lot of stuff where you go, I wouldn't say that was her fault.
Right. There's two things for sure that I seen that looked really bad that you gotta blame on Steph.
Yeah.
Most notably,
Here
the
we go
Exploder.
again
That
with
was
the
awful.
block that we were talking about earlier in the match. And then she
Now
finally
she doesn't
gets
try
it
to
free.
Now we're
fucking grab it
still
again.
taking too long again.
And then the immediate
Oh,
tap.
and immediately.
It's like she hadn't even had it always sunk in yet, and she was already tapping.
I think that was another point in it that made
And
me...
the show Dana White.
Clapping from Dana White. All right, good job. All right, well, there it was. There's your debut. Hugs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
She
Ronda looked okay.
Yeah, it's not the best Raw debut ever, but not Raw, damn it, Mania debut ever, but yeah, she was good. She was solid.
I still don't think I was wrong about much, but what I'll say is maybe Ronda will be okay. I didn't have any kind of faith in her at all, but maybe she'll be okay because a few of those moves looked really good. It looked like she knows how to sell.
Well, we'll see what kind of fucking schedule she works now. Is she gonna be another Brock Lesnar where she only shows up fucking once every other pay-per-view or what?
Unfortunately, that seems to be the rumor. All right, we're gonna go ahead and stop this match and just.
Or are I?
I couldn't see the mouse. I don't know. I don't think it was the best match of the night. I don't think it was the greatest WrestleMania debut ever. I would not give Ronda Rousey an A+, but I may have been a little hard on her. I will say that.
I'll give her a solid B.
I would give her a B2.
I think
maybe
I had
B-.
originally said this as a C-, and I feel like maybe I just raise it one grade to a B-.
Okay.
Because I feel like watching it a second time that there was a lot of stuff that wasn't really her.
Probably the first time I watched it, I wasn't watching to watch her only or to pay attention to her as much as I thought it was kind of a bullshitty, gimmicky match with a bunch of people that shouldn't be wrestling and a bunch of people that can't talk. And I don't like MMA wrestlers, so maybe this had a little bit working against it for me going in.
Right.
And one of the things that you thought was going to be a strong point, and you thought that Triple H and Kurt Angle were going to be carrying the match.
That really didn't end up happening. Really a plus for it because of... Yeah, I'm not sure they could have carried the match. Having seen what we've seen from them guys, maybe that wasn't going to happen.
No, let's say Ronda was one of the better workers in the match. Stephanie would be the bottom. Triple H and Ronda were the better workers. I mean, Kurt did his job. He did all right. But at the same time, he just doesn't move the same. Which I get. He's fucking old and he's had broken neck and so many goddamn surgeries. He shouldn't even really be wrestling anymore at this point.
He's had a broken freaking neck.
Yeah. Twice, I think.
And won a gold medal. Gold freaking medal.
All right, well, I guess, congratulations to Ronda Rousey. I guess we got maybe some good things to look forward to with her.
Yep.
She keeps on working at it, and they work her more than twice a month or whatever.
Yeah, so we'll
Look,
be here weekly to talk, so she's around weekly. We'll be talking about her weekly, I'm sure.
Let me just point out, they gave her a contract, and when they had a little speech about it in the ring, they made a big deal about her wanting no special treatment, and I messaged you guys about this the other day. They gave her a WrestleMania debut with the highest up people in the company, basically.
Yeah.
And her contract is for limited dates and blah blah blah. I mean, is that really no special treatment, or is she getting special treatment and it was just a fucking stupid fucking gimmick they were going for? I don't know.
She's getting some special treatment. They just want to come out and say that because they were already getting shit on the internet about saying she's going to be getting special treatment.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
they want to try to calm down the chatter.
I'm sure that's what it was. That's what I was going to say. They're just trying to, But not to mention, there's a lot of people that probably deserve the shot more than her that are currently already in WWE. Maybe not necessarily the women, but
right.
There's probably someone who could have used that push. But yeah, all in all, I would say that.
Well, I mean, this kind of had to happen because of the whole setup from a few Manias ago when she came in there with Rock, which is why Rock was their first choice, because he was part of the whole fucking setup that got to this point.
Dig that. I wouldn't say I was wrong about this match, and I still don't agree with the Mania, with the people.
Don't believe the hype.
Clamoring for.
Yeah, Mania was like a 6 out of 10.
I don't think this was a great match still, but I think that maybe I could have gave Ronda Rousey a little more credit in her debut.
Yeah,
I agree.
But don't call that an about face. I didn't like this match very much, and I still don't. But okay, here we are with that. All right, we should probably wrap it up on that. This is the longest show ever, and it's the first one, if that gives you any idea of what to look forward to.
Yeah, in the future, they won't be as long because we won't be recapping TakeOver and Mania every week.
Had 26 matches at WrestleMania, the 12-hour long
Yeah.
epic mini-series. But this has been episode 1 of High Marks, Wrestling's High Marks. Gee Whiz Willoughby.
Cheez, man.
Mojo.
And we will catch you next week. Take us out, Mitch.
I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too.